run, and do you look your opponent in the eye? What generally do you do? And are you a man that sings along to the national anthem as well?
I definitely wouldn't be singing, but one thing I make sure I do, obviously, as coach, I scour through the players and just make sure everyone's there that I think was going to be there. And some players believe in looking their opponent in the eye, and you can do all that. But I think at the end of the day, when the siren goes, you need to get the job done. But I think when you talk about nerves, this is probably the major part of the nerves now. It's everyone's around, the anthem's going, and you're only 3 or 4 minutes to that first bounce.
Looking at that Queenscliff side, Hilly, there's a couple of names that are going to be key to this contest that we still haven't touched on. And look, 22 is going to be the key and has been the key throughout finals, getting a contribution from everyone. But I just loved the game last week of a guy that I think has come along in leaps and bounds this year. Trent Buckland showed his versatility, went forward. He'll get a big job in defence, you'd imagine, today. And he fires. If he can get them going, then Queenscliff might find a way to get over the line, even though I have tipped Geelong Amateur.
Yeah, well, Trent Buckland's a funny one, and as Jamo said last week, if he's there, he's there. If he's on, he's on, but if he's not, he's not. So it'll be intriguing to see how he starts the game. He's going to be a guy who's probably going to get a job and then probably run off, depending on the flow of the game.
It's a tunnel. Zappa's going to the Surf Coast end.
Holds the ball off. BFL Grand Final day. We're about to kick off the Seniors Grand Final here on Vision Australia Radio 99.5 FM. Here's Dan Hill.
Ball up and down to the centre of the ground. Smith, who won the tap, down towards Travascus, couldn't gather it around the ankles. Ball goes forward for Queenscliff towards half forward. Durran nudged off the footy by Webber. Roscoe Holmes lays the tackle on Bosley, who dropped the footy. Gibbs goes back in. Bosley dived on an umpire circling. Calls for a quick bounce, and it'll be 45 out directly in front of Queenscliff's goal. And Orvis starting in the goal square.
Good start for the Cooters. They get the first clearance from the centre of the park, and they're inside 50, about 45 metres out from their attacking goal. Ball tossed up. Evans flew over the top of Smith. Knocked down. Gibbs is dangerous. Durran pushed an opponent off the footy. Gave a handball out towards Orvis. Wasn't favoured by it. Then spun in and out of a tackle. Just got a handball away towards Robinson, who fell over. Durran lays a big tackle on Bosley, who shoveled it out. Umpire does some skirting and says, give it to me. Still 45 metres out from the Queenscliff goal, right half forward flank. 1 minute gone in the BFL Grand Final for season 2011.
Been doing the hard stuff already, Bosley.
Ball tossed back up. Special comments today from Phil Shaw and Adam Skrobalak as the ball comes out. A defensive 50 from Lindsay Smith. High ball going back to fight Tom Lynn. Bit of courage early. Turns around, wanted to run into a couple and kicked it over towards half forward where Robinson was waiting, but a poor kick. Sleeman will give chase, lost his footy. Burnside, outer side, left boot. Goes with a big pass to Chaplin Birch, the little shuffler. Every arm shuffling, he takes the mark outer side. He'll kick from 40 out, probably 10 in from the boundary in front of Chris Kangas. He took the grab.
Will they run on Scrop if he kicks it?
Oh, I think they will, mate. I've actually just been looking behind the goals. Looks like some kids all ready to go. So
I better get out there and get amongst it.
I'll look for that toupee.
See if you can interview him, Phil.
Chaplin Birch, 45 out, holds up in the breeze. And he's got it. He's kicked the goal. There's no one running out on the ground. He's got the tongue. So Phil Shaw won't be getting amongst it. And Queenscliff get around him. They do. First goal. It is Queenscliff 1 straight 6. Geelong to get to score.
Great start. Exactly what you want from your spearhead, Scott.
Yeah, exactly. Fantastic start, and his confidence will be up right from the start.
Tough spot to kick a goal from over there. Would have thought one of the toughest spots on the ground with a win probably in your face.
Yeah, definitely. I think it holds up a little bit from that end as well. I think he'd rather be kicking from that side than the grandstand side.
Silver service for Dylan Chaplin Birch. He's got 100 for the season, and Queenscliff had the first in the BFL Grand Final. Smith flew over the top of Evans, got the knockdown. Tom Lim put an opponent down, looked to be high. Umpire said keep playing, boys. Travascus laid the tackle on Lim, knocked down by Goddard. Kept it away from Gibbs. Big tackle in the centre of the ground. Gibbs gave a handball to his mate Luke Orvis. Handball to Blake. Lim running past. Wobbles the ball inside 50. Wants Orvis leading out of the goal square. This time it's Nick. Ball eludes him. Runs across the boundary line. Robertson closely pursued him. 50 metres out from the Queenscliff goal. They've done the early attacking. And after 3 minutes on the Vision Australia score, 99.5 FM scoreboard, they've got the first goal.
So Nick with no C playing it full forward on Travis Robertson. What a matchup that will be. Clark from the takeaway, kicked it up towards the wing, bounced off the chest of Waite, and he was tackled without it. Hunter dives in, dived on top of it. Waite stole it off him, then whacked Hunter in the head. Hunter's as hard as nails. He got it out. Chance for Richie Kangas. Handball back to Bosley, I think it was. Sat on, Orvis just wave play on. Ferguson's in there. Ball still at half forward for Queenscliff. Tom Lim got a hand on it. Robertson hacked it out. Whitelaw couldn't gather. Ferguson on the left round the corner. Turnover straight to Measures on the wing.
Footy's hot, intensity's up. It's BFL Grand Final day at Spring Creek Reserve. Fantastic day for footy. Mark taken by Measures on centre wing. Club room side of the ground. Pumps the ball inside 50. Wants Evans from the back. Couldn't bring the footy down. Buckland flew as well. Robinson at ground level. Through the footy as Bosley missed it on the way past. Whitelaw in the left boot towards a contest. Orvis in front. It was Chaplin Birch in fact. Couldn't take the mark. Webber's handball to Sleeman. Releases with Robertson. Under pressure from Chaplin Birch. Got his kick away. Pumped it towards centre wing where Marty White leads out. Headley, his opponent, happy to take him towards the boundary line. Ball eventually finds its way over as it was pursued by, I think, Hayden Cohen on the far side of the ground. Ball to be tossed back in. 4 minutes gone. Opening term. 6 points. Queenscliff lead.
Boys, Lindsay Smith a bit sore behind play after copping a big knock in that marking contest.
And he's probably 100 metres off this throw-in as Evans will fly against Zabarenkov. Evans won it easily. Sleeman's there for company. Little kick around the corner favours Queenscliff, but it's bouncing around in a pack situation on the outer side. Picked up by Sleeman and bombed for the win, picking the footy up. Carried 70 or 80 metres and will bounce over the line now to play 20 metres around from Geelong Amateurs attacking goal. So our first look at the breeze, and it looks to be quite strong.
He's spot on, Scrob. He's very sore, and rather than get himself a kick behind play, he's just wandered over towards the bench where they can have a chat. So keep an eye on that one, Phil.
Yeah, it looked like the umpire may have checked him for blood, so maybe time he has to go off in a sec here.
Ball came back into play. Zaparenkov a chance in the right forward pocket for the Amos. Shovel towards the boundary line. Couldn't pick up the footy. Plenty of numbers on top of it now. Amos with a chance if they can get the ball clear of the congestion. They can't. It's locked up. Goes back towards the boundary line. Umpire says throw it in, thanks. And again, we'll have a ball in 20 metres around from Geelong Amateurs goal, right forward pocket.
He's still not right, Lindsay Smith. He's getting a little bit of help from the trainers.
So again, Zaparenkov in the ruck. It was one down by Evans towards the boundary line. Blake Lim and Ferguson. Also Huey Hunter over there. Young Hubert will have another throw in. Queenscliff gaining probably 10 or 15 metres. 35 around from Geelong Amateurs attacking goal at right half forward.
Boys, you can see Robinson trying to push off Orvis already. Ball's in the forward 50 for Geelong Amateurs, and he's right up there with it now.
Good call, Scott. Ball tossed back in. Free kick, I think the umpire's picked out. No, he says, boys converge quickly. Give it to me. About 48 from the Geelong Amateur goal. Robertson working. Nick Orvis over there. Two that are around this contest, but the ruck work will be done by Travascus and Evans. That time Evans won it down pretty decisively. Found a teammate. They gain another 10 metres. Lim with a chance. Clean pick up from the skipper for Queenscliff. Kicks towards half forward, going back with a flight and taking a pretty comfortable mark. Unimpeded in the end was Nankervis for the Amos.
Nankervis on the left. Bombs long to half forward. At the back, Evans had hands to it. Umpire didn't pay the mark. Now he has to go back in and get his own footy. Ball squirts out the side of the pack. Ferguson paddled along in front, wanted a free kick. Umpire just waved play on, so didn't have enough of it. Queenscliff will look to work it clear through H. Cohen. Did well, got it to Tommy Lim. Tommy gets it through the middle to Gibbs. Gibbs runs and takes a bounce across the pitch, kicks the half forward ball, holding up in the wind. Orvis with a sit. So it's Chaplin Birch. Roscoe moved it around and Roscoe ran onto it. Got it to Chaplin Birch. Another one. Two in a row for Chaplin Birch. They're on the Coosa party. They are on. And as we said early, pre-game Scrob, perhaps Amo's a little bit rusty.
Boys, Evans just gone off from the ruck for Queenscliff as well. But yeah, great ball movement by Queenscliff, very fast, and you can see they've fled foot already.
Feel they've come to play?
Yeah, well, I sense that they would do just that. All the matchups that we thought Jamo would put in, he's done them, and they're doing it very, very nicely at the moment. They're all working.
7 minutes gone, opening term, BFL Grand Final for 2011. Queenscliff lead it by 12 points. Amos yet to score, kicking with a breeze. Caldwell flew against Smith. Both negated each other. Gibbs took it out of the middle, been good so far. Kick towards Lim, who read it better than Edwards, but Webber did nicely for Geelong Amateur. Got to keep their feet here. Edwards swung onto his left boot after finding a bit of space. Kick wasn't pretty, he wanted Hunter. Mark taken by Gibbs on centre wing for Queenscliff.
Gibbs just down in front of us, holding the ball in one hand. He'll look to go long and does on the right boot. Not much of a kick in the end.
Kick to a 4-on-1.
Yeah, that's probably their first poor disposal for the match. Now Curvis takes the mark at half back for Geelong Amateur. Goes long to Sam Clark. Takes the mark. He is my man. Don't know about the haircut. Don't know if he's still got the mo. He's going to have a look at that after this game. He kicks up towards half forward. Inside attacking 50. Beautiful ball to Jason Tom. And that's his first grab of the game.
It's an ordinary
45 out. A very, very ordinary. 45 out, 45 degree angle.
I think he's got my toupee on. Not sure.
Get a good read on the breeze here as well, boys, as to where it's heading from. Jason Tom kicking from about sort of 46.
In he comes Tom. You want to start this just outside the right goal post. He crosses the paint, kicks from almost on it. He started it probably in centre and it drifted away to the left, so it's probably on the money there. Just the one behind. Geelong Amateur looking a little flat early in the BFL Grand Final. They get their first score after 8 minutes. It's 1-1 playing 2 straight 12.
Really good indication there, the skill level, 1 turnover and they've taken it to the other end, 1 shot at goal, so Queenscliff have to keep their skills up early.
Steve Owen to bring the footy back in for the Cooters, and he kicks to himself with no one on the mark. Closing quickly was Ferguson. This as we speak about skills, the ball's ugly. Let's see Ammo's in with a chance. Headley's going to have to be good against Kangas, takes it towards the boundary line and then walked it over. Umpire Razor, who's got the gig in the grand final, says throw it in, thanks. 55 metres around from the Geelong Amateur goal, left half forward flank.
Ball toss back in, 55 around from attacking goal. The longest throw-in I've seen this season. They've got the strong boys out there for the grand final, pushing the back, fair measures. Bring the number 46 because he left number 18 in NT and he hasn't been back there since. You might see him in 18 in 2012.
I've got 2 words for him, express post.
Measures from half back with a ball towards Roscoe Holmes. Didn't read it well though. Nankervis cleans up for the Ammos and pumps the ball towards a goal square. Tom and Headley. Nankervis' ball, which way's it going to bounce? It doesn't matter. It was through for a point, but Jake Headley gives away a free kick for a couple of hands in the back. Jason Tom, the beneficiary. He'll have his second shot in a minute.
It's a bit soft. Didn't read the flight of the ball though, Scrob, and that's what you got to do these days in footy. You can't go for too much body contact.
Yeah, I think he's worrying about Tom a little bit there and he's actually forgot about the footy, so yeah, very important, especially if there's a bit of wind around. Don't give away a free kick because he might not mark it.
So Tom comes in, closer shot, similar angle to where he kicked from for his first. This time he's got it, started at right post and it faded back straight through the middle of the goals. Geelong Amateur on the board, they're 1-1-7. Queenscliff 2 straight 12, they lead it by 5 points. 10 minutes gone in the BFL Grand Final for season 2011. Just the one that they were after, Phil, to steady the ship and get rid of a few of the nerves.
Yes, it was, and he went to school on his first shot at goal from a similar spot, a little bit further out the first one. Just brought it home on the breeze. Great kick.
Just every time he's one-on-one, I feel that Jake Headley's a bit suspect going up against Jason Tom, and it showed a couple of weeks ago.
Well, I mean, Jason Tom has played a fair bit of VFL football, so we know he's a class act, and Jake Headley's giving away inches, so tough gig.
Ball up and down in the centre again. The question's got to be asked, where was Steve Owens? I think it was his poor kick that created the turnover. Free kick in the middle of Sam Goddard. In fact, it'll go to Holmes. Whitelaw wanted to take it, but he'll be forced to give it over to his good mate Roscoe Holmes, who'll have it on the defensive side of the rings. Huey understands the mark. Roscoe Holmes keeps it low into the breeze towards Durran. Not much of a kick in the end to retract towards the line. And we'll have a throwing where the 50 joins the arc as Webber and Lim collide near the line.
Good hit by Tommy Lim too, showing a bit of physicality early. That's what you want to see. Normally it's the Ammos that dish up that hard style of footy, but Queenscliff have come to play here in the BFL Grand Final. Smith back on the ground and won a palm down. Can they keep the footy moving? Weber at ground level, gave it off to Richie Kangas, gave an underground ball to Smith that put him under the pump. The big man fell over. Lewis just gave the footy to Whitelaw and then got a little handball back underground. Then a kick that didn't go the required 15, landed in the path of Sleeman, who kicked it off the deck and gained about 30 towards Zaparenkov and Clark, and it bounced again about 40 once it found its way to Tim Clark. And then he went very, very close to the boundary line, ended up taking it over in the end. We'll have a ball in 80 metres from the Geelong Amateur goal. Clark in a bit of disbelief as well. He thought that one was still in play.
Very unlucky for Tim Clark. He was in a bit of space too if he could get back inside. Whitelaw the takeaway. Got it to Tom Lim, who's been very, very early, the captain. But not much of a good kick on this occasion as he went very, very wide. Good tackle laid by Durham, pushed his man in the back. Umpire said, yep, that's exactly what you did, son. And it'll be a free kick over on the outer side for Geelong Amateur. It's going to Timmy Kent, who goes long up towards half forward. Queenscliff with the numbers, but the ball falls out the side of the pack to Ferguson, who goes long to the square, almost all the way, but Owens takes the mark over the back of the pack from Tom.
That's his go. Steve Owens reads the footy well, and he can chip over the top, kicked it straight into the man on the mark though, and it was McElwain that bounced up and smothered. Then he cleaned up and got it to Charlie Caldwell, who kicked. Don't know if the umpire said play on, he didn't end, so Cohen had to go. Smith ran over and then wobble the ball towards Buckland and Nankervis. Nankervis giving Buckland an absolute bath in the opening 12.5 minutes. He's taking his 4th grab of the opening term.
So no match up for Buckland in the back half, so he started forward as the ball's wobbled up towards half forward. It carries the pack, slapped forward by Marty White. Charlie Caldwell might have got one high. Umpire said, yep, you're on the money, and we'll pay the advantage as the ball switched to the other side. Burnside That's the handball defensively. Owens will probably not want to kick the footy on this occasion, so he handballs. He did the right thing. Got it to Tom Lim, but now he's got it back, so he's forced to kick. That's an absolute shocker.
And on Steve,
He's grubbered one on the deck. I think he's got his boots on the wrong feet. Little handball came out the side from, I think it might have been Zaparenkov. In fact, it was Keeler. He got it out the back, but a turnover. Gibbs has the footy. Handball. I think it might be running into Lewis. Goal, Zach Lewis, and he's got it. Easy as you like. He didn't really like the pick off the boot. It was a bit of a wobbler, but it's home. So another turnover, a bad turnover. Stevie Owens' kick from the bids at 50 was horrible, but Geelong Amateur should have mopped up and counted. But they turned the footy over and Queenscliff make them pay.
That was the worst good kick I've ever seen from Zach Lewis.
It just wobbled all over the place, didn't it?
Oh, dear, I don't know how he got it there, but he did.
Queenscliff are really looking to switch the play out of defence. Every time they get it, they're looking to the outer side, no matter which side they're on.
Thoughts of Phil Shaw and Adam Skrobalak, our special comments men today, doing a great job for the Beach House. Ball toss back up in the centre. Smith knocked it down towards Baden Dodd. Some question his inclusion in the team of the year. Couldn't take it away on this occasion. Bean Hilly with two of those. Keelan picked up the footy, gave it wide. Hasn't touched it. Edwards handball over the top, gave it to Sleeman in space. Can work and pump a ball inside 50. It's a high ball. Tom to contest against Owens. Both had each other's jumper. Ferguson stayed down. Headley a chance at ground level. Clark tried to bump him off it, but the kid held strong. Gave a handball to Owens. Little ball underground that time. He meant to kick it along the deck towards Waith. Head over the footy on the far side with Sleeman. And then Rugby World Cup style just jumped over the line, said throw it in. 50 metres around from the Ammo's goal.
Will be tossed back in out of side. It's Queenscliff leading by 11 points. Travascus to do the ruck work. Smith probably off the ground, still proppy. Taken away by Gibbs. He kicks it along the wing. Over the back of the pack is Buckland, who'll be leading the race. Ball wobbles up to half forward, still bouncing on the deck. Cooters fans wanted a free, but it's Whitelaw over there. Gets a handball back inboard to Durran, who goes on the right foot, which is his wrong foot, inside 50. Couldn't take the mark. Front of the pack was Roscoe. Roscoe around the body. Don't tell me, bouncing footy. He's just missed it. Their first minor score of the day. That would have brought the house down just because Tim Michell would have gone absolutely mental. Amateur 1-1-7. Queenscliff 3-1-19. 15 goal on opening turn.
You're cotton onto the man love between me and Roscoe very quickly, Scrob. There's a certain connection. Robertson with the ball over the top to Bosley. His first touch for the day. Been well negated so far, and his direct opponent, Tom Lim. Bosley's ball is a shocker towards McElwain. It's out the full and it'll land in the crowd. Clean up a couple of cars that bounced over as well. Measures to take the resultant free kick for Queens. So he gave a short one to Robertson, who we haven't seen a lot of so far. Kent, his opponent, will stand the mark. Robertson, ball along half forward, it holds up in the breeze, gave Nankervis a chance to run through. Lim couldn't take it cleanly. Allowed Edwards to give a handball off to the running Bosley. He's inside 50. Don't know if he meant it, but the kick hits the chest of Marty White, who's going to kick from about 48 measures, stands the mark, 45 metres from the Geelong amateur goal. A premiership coach, I think, for the Ammos as well. Harvey Williams just wandering past too, and a GDFL premiership coach. Mark White kicks for goal, floats it high, floats it wide as well. Going to stay in play. Tom Crew over the back marks, plays on and kicks the goal. So 2 at one end for Jason Tom, 2 at one end for Chaplin Burns. They're going goal for goal with 2 spearheads. Geelong over to 2-1-13, Queenscliff 3-1-19. Everyone thought it was going through for a point. The ball stopped and fell. They cut the margin to 6 points, 16.5 minutes gone. Vision Australia 99.5 FM scoreboard.
Would have loved to see the Queenscliff ruckman down on the line for that shot on goal. Would have made a big difference, one-on-one with Tom, and then the ruckman come over the top, but unfortunately he's a little bit lazy, sitting half forward.
Harvey Williams has been busy since he's given up the footy too. There's about 3 or 4 kids down there.
Yeah, there's plenty of them. I'm sure they'll all be stars as soon as they're old enough to pull on the Ammo's jumper as well.
Jeez, that defies belief that you don't have a ruckman on the last line when you've got Jason Tom, a bloke who's done 15 goals
lazy,
this season.
Lazy
he's
play.
not on the last line. Jarrow will be tearing whatever is left out. Ball back in the centre. Bosley a takeaway. Got one high. Umpire said, "Razor, I'm onto it. I've got 72 sweatbands, and I'm a legend." Free kick to Bosley, backside of the square circles, I should say. Goes up to half forward. Sammy Clark had to sit with the one hand. Tried to handle it to Tom, but it's intercepted by Owen, who wobbles a shot. If it bounces inside, he's done well, and he has. He gets it to 80 out from home, clearing the danger, and we'll have a throw in. Stevie Owens needs to change his boots because he could not hit the barn door.
Starting to get some quality ball out of the back line though, isn't he?
There's a whistle on play, and we'll have a blood rule. Jake Headley, the man that's going to have to go to the bench for Queenscliff.
Running the wrong way.
Doesn't even know where he's going. He was going to, I think, the change rooms, but got to go to the interchange, so we'll get a break in play here and a chance to assess how things are going. 17.5 minutes gone, opening term. Phil, what's your read so far on the way that the game's being played out, I dare say the Cooters would be pretty satisfied.
I reckon they're both still feeling each other out. They're getting the matchups right. They got out of the blocks well. The Cooters didn't. They kicked a couple, and the Amos have just stemmed the blood flow a little bit, and it's just an arm wrestle at the moment.
Ben Price come onto the ground to man Tim Clark as the ball set to come back into play. His umpire tosses it high towards Travascus and Evans. That time Travascus did nice. He used his body strength to knock it to Clark. Evans fell into his back with umpire Razor, who every time Rebel Sport has a sweatband sale, you can guarantee he's going to be in there because he's got 700 of them at home. He's got a sweatband drawer, if you can believe it. Calls for the footy and tosses it high.
Travascus, he's been a good move into the ruck. He's one of my boys. He can play in any position. Knocked it forward to Sam Clark, snapped around the body. Tom in the goal square one-on-one, slapped away from him. And finally they've worked it out. If you're playing on Jason Tom, do one thing. Punch the ball. One behind. Amateur 2-2-14. Queenscliff 3-1-19. We played 18 and a half in the opening term of the VFL Grand Final.
Ball came back into play that time. Owens found a target. It was Robertson in the back pocket. Robertson's ball's gone straight to Nankervis. Price and Buckland had to fly. That time Buckland took front position. Got the knockdown to Orbis, who's found Tom Lim in a bit of space. He can work on his right and keep the footy in play. And sell Candy to Trevor Edwards and go inside the skipper. Playing inspired opening term. He's got Jones Sleeman. Geez, that was classy. Back with the flight of the footy to knock it away. Durran fall of the ball. Can work onto his right boot under pressure from Sleeman. Don't tell me from the pocket. Jaden Durran has floated it all the way across goal. And in the end put it out the full. So we got a little bit excited. At Geelong Amateur 2-2-14. Queenscliff 3-1-19. Vision Australia 99.5 FM scoreboard. 19.5 minutes gone. Wondering if it's time, Scrob, maybe just to give Nick Orbis a run in the ruck, because the big man up forward has not got near the footy so far.
Yeah, maybe, and also I think Robinson is running off him a fair bit, so he's paying a little bit more attention to Robinson rather than his own game at the moment.
Angus switches the play to Weber, who bombs long to Dodd, who's got the footy on the outer side. He kicks on the right boot up towards full forward, where Sam Clark just nudged off his man nicely, off H. Cohen. He snaps from the pocket, ball goes across the face of goal, and then will dribble out of bounds in the left forward pocket. Geelong Amateur attacking. They trail by 5 points, 20 gone exactly in the opening term.
We might have a bit to do with it, Phil, but just the way they're moving it at the moment, Geelong Amateur, they're very dangerous on the break.
Yes, and Sam Clark is starting to gain touch very, very rapidly too.
Ball picked up by Evans. Umpires picked a free kick out. Reckon it's going the Ammo's way too. It is. So there's a chance to hit the front for the first time. Tom, who's already had 2 shots on goal, 3 shots on goal in fact, will have his 4th in the opening term. He's already got 2.
He headbutted
kicks this in front.
He headbutted someone's knee, and you get a free kick for that these days.
Jason Tom, and he's had a few sideys from this point as well. Steve Owens will feel a little bit aggrieved because I don't know if he was the man at the bottom of that pack that gave away the free kick. Tom kicks for goal. He's got an Ammo's at the front. 3-2-20. Geelong Amateur Queenscliff 3-1-19. That'll hurt for the Cooters, who are probably in the better side in this opening term. 21 minutes gone. Vision Australia 99.5 FM scoreboard reached. Geelong Amateur leading by 1 point.
Interesting passage of play there, and they managed to get the ball forward, Geelong Amateur, and really, just through weight of numbers and getting the ball inside 50, they've got themselves back in front. Ball back in the centre of the ground with Razor. Sweatbands.
Yeah, man, he's been good so far.
He's tossed it up with the 2 hands. He's favoured Josh Evans, but Lindsay Smith just smashed it out of the middle, measures it up. He's a half-back with White for company. With your handball wide to Robinson.
Not good enough, Marty White.
Evans, he didn't really lay a tackle there. Stewie White now ran through a couple. Handball wide and Jones under pressure. Dumped umpire Williams play on. Ball up towards full forward now for Geelong Amateur. Jason Tom with a sit, took the mark in front of Stevie Owens. And Jason Tom will have a shot right up against the boundary line. 35 metres out on the outer side, but he's got the wind working for him. If he just pops it up and rides it on the breeze, they may extend their lead.
Do not have a match up for it. What he had in the first quarter a couple of weeks ago, I think he had 8 shots. This is shot number 5 in the opening quarter here, so he's averaging about a shot every 4 minutes.
Got to put Headley on.
Very hard shot from this pocket, boys.
Comes in, he kicks it goal, starts it right, and that's where it stays, just the one behind. So Geelong Amateur extend their margin ever so slightly, 3-3-21. Queenscliff 3-1-19. We've played 22 opening quarter.
You would have kicked that, Scott.
I doubt that.
Easily.
Would have kicked it with your wrong boot.
I would have kicked the banana from there, but that's another story.
Owens to take the kick out again for Queenscliff. He's entrusted with those duties as well as the task of manning Jason Tom today. He's called to go. comes right to the point of the square and then kicks an wobbler towards Robertson. Dodd flew up for Geelong Amateur but couldn't bring the footy down. Robertson over the top now, gave a handball out off the ground to Whitelaw. 2 Cooters in the race here. Holmes fell over it, makes it a 2-on-2. Goddard and Gibbs closed. Buckland, Goddard gave a handball to Edwards and they didn't read that he was a left footer. He walked through and then did too much for himself in the end, held onto the footy. McElwain, a chance against Orbis in a one-on-one body contest, did nicely, then kicked it straight into Caldwell's hands. Worked out right for Geelong Amateur as it found its way to Tim Clark. His pinpoint ball, a missile into the chest of Damien Zaparenkov, the skipper inside 50. Sam Clark flies up and then clutch one for Geelong Amateur directly in front. He'll kick from about 35. He has been very, very dangerous so far.
Well, as he said before, he's just running himself into form after failing to start the season, being convinced in the middle of the year to come back to Amos. He's looking very dangerous, Jim.
So Clark will kick from about 35. Breeze probably the only thing that might affect his kick. That was never going to miss. It went straight through the middle. They extend their lead, Geelong Amateur. They've gone bang bang late this term. They're 4-3-27. Queenscliff 3-1-19. 23 and a half minutes gone. Opening term of the BFL Grand Final for 2011.
The ball's moving, Scott. We spoke about disposal, and geez, it doesn't get much better than that. It started with Tim Clark's little left foot ball to half forward.
Yeah, exactly. Turned to the outside, pinpoint left, and then Zaparenko straight back into the middle of the ground as well. Great 2 hits.
That's really all you need in grand finals, Phil. You just need a couple of little good balls at half forward to get yourself rolling.
Well, it's all about kicking accuracy these days, and you said it, Scrob, the Clark kick was a beauty.
Ball back in the centre of the ground. Robinson and Bosley go at it. Bosley knocked it forward. Now Bosley lays a tackle on Blake Lim, who might have been legged. Umpire says no, we'll bounce it. It's finals footy. It's the grand final. There's no soft ones today. Bounce between wing and half forward.
Smith's really getting on top in the middle and the hit outs here. He's getting well over the top at the moment.
Flies up and slaps that one forward 50. It's as good as a kick. They're inside 50 and about 30 from goal now. Tim Clark's dangerous. Owen's got to be good. Was spun 540. It was about a 360 and then it just kept going. Measures couldn't pick up the footy. Hunter, handball over his head. Didn't see anyone in particular. Measures with a kick along the deck. Holmes going to have to be good against Edwards. He leads the race in a 4-on-1 now. Tried to spin out of a Hunter bump but couldn't. Picked up by Richie Kangas. Izzy-Amos whip it inside 50. Tom's read it well. Back of the pack. Price flew over the top. Where's the Rovers round the body? It's McElwain. He's kicked it. Geelong Amateur on fire. 25 minutes gone. Opening term. The favourites 5-3-33. The minor premiers. Queenscliff 3-1-19. All of a sudden the margin's out to 14 points. They've done it very, very nice in the last 5 minutes, the Ammos, but I just think we might get a more telling read, Scrob, in the second quarter because that breeze, as it just floats through the glass house that we're in on the centre wing here, just seems to have picked up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely picked up, but you can also see amateurs are getting much more of the footy and they're just using it very well around the ground as well.
Smith smashed that out of the middle, 30 or 40 metres.
And it kept rolling too.
It did.
Ball back in the centre of the ground. Evans just tried to fly up and Smith took it out of the ruck. Ball was smothered. Tom Lim got it to Robinson. Robinson over the top. Whitelaw, little handball to Charlie. Little Charles Caldwell up towards half forward. The numbers are with Geelong Amateur, but doing was Gibbs. He runs towards the boundary line. Webb needs to take a bounce. Does. Closes to 20. Snaps and goals.
Oh,
this looked good, didn't it? Oh, he's missed his side. I thought he kicked the goal. Amateur 5-3-33, Queenscliff 3-2-20. They needed that one. It was very, very close.
I'm maintaining goal right at Albion Park if you could fit him in a box. And you let him go. He's just lightning, Daniel Gibbs. Kick out came from Webber and it pinpointed its way to Bosley, who's been pretty well held so far. He pumps the ball to Nankervis. Buckland can't get near him at the moment. He managed to get his hands on the footy after Nankervis dropped a sitter. The Queenscliff can mop up. Measures finds Caldwell, centre of the park, just outside the centre square. In fact, his ball towards Orbis and Robertson over the top did nicely. Orbis didn't even know where the footy was. That's how good he's going in the opening term, Nick Orbis.
Didn't look too
span around,
got to get him
pirouetted and just went, where's the pill? It was over the boundary line. We'll have it tossed in. Queenscliff's attacking end of the ground, about 65 from their goal.
He said he gets lost in the ruck sometimes. I'll tell you what, he's lost it full forward. Ball tossed back in. Smith won it down easily. Not going to go for a bit of body contact on Lindsay Smith. Just an idea, Charlie. Ball around the corner. Over the back of the pack. Waith will wait for it. Also there, missing it away. It was another Waith. Luke and Sam are both there. Ball inside attacking 50. Sam Clark's caught behind. Waith will go back and track it. Does. Handball inside. Got it to Blake Lim. Forced for the don't argue. Back to Waith. Now it's still a defensive 50 with H. Cohen. Handball towards this great tackle. Riley Ferguson dropped it. Queenscliff working at half back under the pump. Dropped it. Pushing the back. Umpire says free kick to H. Cohen at half back.
Very lucky there.
Yeah, got away with one, Queenscliff, because they were well and truly under the pump. 4 or 5 big tackles from the Geelong Amateurs forwards. The pressure's good. They've opened up a 13-point lead late in the opening term of the BFL Grand Final. We know leads have been dangerous for them over the last couple of years. Buckland flew up. Bosley and Nankervis knocked each other over. Smith. Whippet almost kept it in. Daniel Gibbs couldn't in the end, and he was still going. That's how long it takes him to stop. He ran about another 30 before he actually stopped running. We'll have a ball in. Smack bang on centre wing. Club room side of the ground. Spring Creek Reserve our venue for the BFL Grand Final.
Ball toss back in. Oh, a bit of body on Lindsay Smith, and he couldn't jump. An interesting tactic from Charlie Caldwell. I think he's thought that one out in the first quarter. Thrown to Dodd. Dodd goes up and down the chimney. Gains about 30 metres towards half forward. Sam Clark flew up. Couldn't take the mark. Huey Hunter threw it. Umpire said that was an attempted kick. Play on. Mosley goes after it. Tackle on Price. He's wrapped up, held to him, tries to force it out. Umpire will be forced to call for a bounce at half forward for Geelong Amateur. They lead by 13 points.
Good strong body work from Price there. He just had to take the hit, and he did.
Yeah, he's becoming one of my favourites, Benny Price. Just a player you can rely on to do the simple 1%ers. Ball up and down at half forward for Geelong Amateur. Bosley slapped Caldwell after he missed the footy on the way through. Around the body, Ferguson to Clark, who just read it better off the boot. Sam Clark, he is on fire in the opening term.
It was touched off the boot.
Giving them plenty to think about. Umpires say they think about it, they converge.
Yes, it is.
And then it was touched off the boot. So Sam Clark not paid the mark after all that. They're ropeable Geelong Amateur. Sam Clark gets the hair out of the eyes and then wants to punch Luke Orvis in frustration. But the umpire tossed the footy up instead. Zaparenkov and Caldwell. Zaparenkov punched it towards the goal square. Waits, tackled, wrapped up quickly. No prior opportunity. Thrown out by Hunter. Kent was a chance. Couldn't bring the footy up. Price has kicked to Orvis. Wheels onto his left. That's where they've got an advantage, left footers. They didn't read it. Buckland to fly against Nankervis. Over the top, Nankervis. Having a great first term. Knocks it over the boundary line. 29.5 minutes gone opening term. Geelong Amateur lead it by 13 points.
Sam Clark had the swinging arm at Orvis when he kicked that one away, and then I think Orvis might have said, good one, clown. Try that again. Ball toss back in. Bit of feeling coming into the game as Smith knocks it over the back. Chance for Kent, who was absolutely smashed, and he'll get a high bump and maybe reported or 50 or anything. The umpire says, no, it's fine, it's footy, who cares?
Good one, Warrior.
Tim Kent goes very long to the goal square, settle down, Tim.
Freak
Warrior. Play on, sit down, you're the Warrior, straight back on board. Roscoe Holmes, right boot, outside defensive 50, ball holding up with a swirling breeze.
Yeah, downfield, Holmes got one.
Numbers, Gibbs streaking through the centre of the ground.
They won't catch him.
Chance to attack.
Inside 50, Gibbs' kick went towards Chaplin Birch one-on-one. He missed Buckland, who was on his own at half forward. Could have given a handball over the top. Tackle without the footy that time. It looked like Headley at the fall of the ball. Chaplin Birch tackled, got to be holding the footy. Took him on. Free kick, Geelong Amateur. Headley forward. There's one of your moves. Amateurs move it quickly. The time to work in his space. Tracked it very wide off his shins. Almost put it over the line. Then kicked towards White in a one-on-one contest with Price over the top. Knocked it down. Can they bring the footy up? White's at the bottom of that pack. Cooters fans want on the footy. Umpire skirts. And then he does it very theatrically. Says free kick Queenscliff on centre wing, far side of the ground.
Amazing, it wasn't Razor with the theatrics. Ball goes up towards half.
They all love a bit of attention in grand final,
They certainly do. Zach Lewis was there, he had a chance, but Geelong Amateur will clear up towards half forward. Ball over the back of the pack, carried on the win. Marty White runs to 45. Kick a goal, he just sort of sat it up there.
Horrendous.
I don't think he was having a shot. I think he might have been trying to kick it to Tom, but it went all the way through for one behind. So the minor score, Amateur 5-4, play Queenscliff 3-2, dying stages, opening quarter BFL Grand Final.
Here's a 9-iron Marty White when he probably should have gone for the driver and just hammered it through.
Dealt 10.5 degree.
5-4-34 is now the ammo score. Ball outside defensive 50. They want Evans, the Cooters. Knocked down Ferguson. Dangerous. The kid towards goal. Riley Ferguson. Don't tell me he's got it. Geelong Amateur to get their sixth late in the term. They're on fire. 6-4-40. They take a 20-point lead. It's a commanding 1-2 over Queenscliff. 3-2-20. Cannot get their hands on the footy at the moment. Queenscliff defence besieged. 31.5 minutes gone opening quarter.
Well, a quick transitional work scrub from Ammo's. After Queenscliff had it forward, Gibbs ran forward. The kick was a shock at the turnover, and goal the other end, it'll kill you.
Yeah, exactly. And in the zone just there too, Queenscliff obviously won the ball over the back, but Ammo's had all the numbers at the front, and as soon as it come to the front, easy shot and goal.
Too good from Ammo's. They're using the wind to their advantage, and the ball's getting over the back of the pack too often from the Queenscliff defence. Ball knocked out of the centre by Smith, who's kept on going after that early hit as the siren sounds. To end the first term of the BFL Grand Final, it's Geelong Amateur taking a commanding lead into the break. 6-4-40 plays Queenscliff 3-2-20. We played 32 minutes in that term. Lots of stoppages and a couple of blood rules extended the term. But really, you'd have to say, if we were going on points, we would award that round 10-9 to Geelong Amateurs.
The Queenscliff forward line, they haven't changed a lot.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if halfway through this quarter the Amos chuck one back. If they've still maintained a lead halfway through the quarter, they may look at putting a loose man back, and that'll give us an indication of their mindset. But yeah, we'll wait and see how things pan out. But I can't see any major changes from so far.
So the ball's just waiting. We're just waiting for everyone to clear off the deck, and there's plenty of them as well. Paddy
got his wallet already.
Got his wallet. And he's in front of us just picnicking with a couple of blokes taken up from car parks. So
Someone's ringing him on the phone from home.
Looks like Caldwell starting the ruck this quarter for Queenscliff.
Yeah, good move. They need to get someone who's going to be able to maybe use some.
Paddy, don't worry if your wallet's about $20 lighter as well. We didn't take it.
I took 20. That's a fee, mate. Return fee.
Finder's fee.
Blazer's just come out of the change rooms. He's got a bit of
that's what we're waiting for.
Get it on the ground, you clown.
Sweatbands were too sweaty. He's changed them. We're ready to go. Second term.
He used to wear black on.
Ball up and down centre of the ground. Smith knocked it down. Taken away by Lim. Pumps it inside 50. Buckland dangerous, but he's at the back of that curve. Has knocked it down. Umpire said no free kick. Buckland tracks onto his favoured left. Kicks a high ball towards Holmes and Chaplin Birch. For Queenscliff, Kangas over the top. Knocked it straight down to Roscoe Holmes. My man Roscoe says thank you very much. Queenscliff within the opening 30 seconds of the second quarter get a goal. 4-2-26 the Cougars. Geelong have it at 6-4-40.
See the carry of the ball out of the centre square, then went 60 or 70 metres, it flew in the air, ball went to ground, and Queenscliff again looked dangerous at ground level. Don't be surprised they get a couple in a row. You might see them up at half time.
You know, I thought Vancouver though a bit unlucky not to get a free kick as Buckland came over the back and was playing like a defender playing forward.
Well, that's all right. Someone should get the ball to ground and win the ball. I think that's probably one of the things. Defenders tend to win the ball more than attackers. That's why they tend to go fairly good up forward. Lindsay Smith out of the middle, smashed it 30 metres forward, but it'll go straight to Tom Lim, who gathers on the backside of the square and kicks on the right boot up towards half forward. And the ball will bounce over the line and out of play. Have a throw in for Queenscliff, 50 around from their attacking goal on the outer side.
Feel the breeze? Going to have an impact, do you think?
It will.
Yes, as I turn the microphone on, I've done more kilometres here today than half the players, I reckon, running in and out. I've lost about 3 kilos.
Working hard, Phil.
And need to.
Caldwell and Smith. Smith knocked down towards Robinson. Holmes later tackle for Queenscliff. Bosley bumped off the footy. It pinballs around. A kick inside by Burnside. Gives Orvis a chance. Robinson over the top.
He's too good for it.
I don't understand why he's still down there, Nick Orvis. They're going to keep doing it. He's doing their forward ruck work at the moment. But he is just getting towelled at the moment by Travis Robertson. 14-point lead for Geelong Amateur, 2 minutes gone, second quarter.
Especially with Lindsay Smith starting to really get on top in the middle too. Could be a move there.
Yeah, they're obviously going to hold him back and get Lindsay when he's tired. It'll be Orvis and Smith in this ruck contest. The ball goes to the front. Jaden Durran tracked it. Now Roscoe around the body. Missed to the near side, just a one behind.
Score update from Skilled Stadium. GFL preliminary final day. South Barwon 4-2-26 leads St Joseph's in a tight one, 3-3-21. Kick out to be taken by Webber. Here it's a 13-point lead for Geelong Amateur, 6-4-40 to Queenscliff 4-3-27 after that behind registered off the boot of Roscoe Holmes. Webber has to play and then runs out of the square. He's been called to play and didn't kick to himself. He's given up a pill. He's just ran under pressure from Chaplin Birch. That is a brain fade and a half from Trent Webber.
Brain freeze.
And we'll have a ball up 10 metres out from Queenscliff's goal. So things going their way early in the second quarter. Queenscliff ball toss back up. Orvis brought it down. Gibbs dangerous. Who's going to pick the footy up? Amos with the run of the mill here. Run of the pill as well, even. And Chaplin Birch tracks it towards the line. Ball to be tossed back in at right forward pocket for Queenscliff. Breeze certainly feels like it is getting stronger.
Ball tossed back in. Smith and Orvis. Orvis knocked it down. Durran at the back. Chance to go to the footy. Just got a left peg on it. Little Texas wedge, but Richie Kangas will now lead the race. Came to Orvis on the right. Don't tell me. Up and down the chimney. Robertson going back. Smith will come in from the side. And he'll take a mark on the last line of defence for Geelong Amateur.
I thought for a second they were going to fly against each other, but you don't get in the way of a freight train when it's coming straight at you. And Travis Robertson said, Lindsay, have the pill if you want it. Baden Dodd played on him, was tackled by Chaplin Birch. Wasn't the best idea because his kick went straight to Burnside. Robinson's kick smothered off the boot by Sleeman. Gave a handball back to Lim, who gave a rugby-style pass with the hand. It was pinpoint to Burnside. They're under the pump. Umpire says free kick, Queenscliff go. They get out of it after it looked like they were going inside 50. Free kick, Charlie Caldwell.
He'll kick this.
Had measures coming past with the breeze. Phil backs him in. I reckon he fancies himself too, Charlie. He's going Matty Lloyd style. He's going to do it up. just put a bit of focus on Charlie Caldwell for a while and just say...
A little bit of Charlie time.
There's nothing wrong with the focus being on me, Heath. So he's going to kick from about 55 here, Charlie Caldwell. Not too much angle to speak of. Kicked straight into the man on the mark. It was ugly. Travascus wraps him up. And now he's going to get pinged, Charlie Caldwell. Shocking. Free kick, Mark Travascus. Charlie Caldwell, what are you doing, son?
And Travascus gave it to him as well. Exactly what Travascus can do. Tim Clark at half-back, that's an absolute shock. A bit of a satana there from Stewie Whitelaw, but it bounced to Roscoe Holmes, his teammate, who wobbled one back to Tim Clark. Bit of kick to kick, went wide to Robinson, takes the mark.
Just reckon skills coming out of that defensive half, kicking into the breeze, going to be really tough.
Short to Ferguson, takes the mark in the hands, just in front of us on centre wing. Now he just lobs one up to half forward. Measures sitting under it with Sam Clark, smashed away by Big H. Cohen, and throw in on the wing for Queenscliff. They are leading by 13 points, 5 gone, second quarter.
Mate, Cohen's good form has coincided with the aerodynamic look.
It has.
Ever since he shaved the locks, he's been one of the key components of that back line. Ball tossed back in. Travascus won front position against Caldwell and missed the pill. Whitelaw pushed him in the back. Free kick, Travascus. Phil not happy.
Then
It's just one of those where Travascus did it well, the knees buckled and he wore the tackle and won a free kick for Geelong Amateur, who lead it by 13 points. He gives a ball over the top to Clark after Queenscliff did all the early attacking. Umpire says Tom Lim, don't go any further on the mark. Clark's ball inside 50, wants Tom. Dodd stayed down. Tom flew up 2-on-1. Headley going to have to be good for the footy. Picked up by Owens. His handball smothered. Amos can't pick up the footy. I think it was Ferguson. Kangas snapper out of the body of the shot of Richie Kangas. Thank you very much. Amos get their 7th. 7-4-46. Queenscliff 4-3-27. A bit of panic in the Queenscliff defence. They give up the goal that they got very quickly. 5.5 minutes gone, second quarter. Ball's touched. Queenscliff fans happy. Tim Michell, you're an idiot.
No, it can't be touched. I've written it down as a goal, fellas. Sorry.
That's 2 now that have gone against the Amos after we thought they were dead set certainties to be given both a shot at goal and a goal itself.
Well, the umpires don't like it. Simple as that. All defensive goal square. They haven't had a bet, but they don't like it. They go very, very long. Over the back, Whitelaw, they're a chance, but he got to take it. Stopped by Bosley and then ducked. Umpire said, yes, you did, son, so no free kick. Tom Lim out the side.
At 20, Tom Lim
runs towards attacking 50. Charlie Caldwell on the lead, but going back was Robert.
I'd say 50, that's soft. He walked into him.
Oh, no. I'm
Shocking
tired.
decision.
Come on.
Oh, well, they're standing their authority.
There's your square up for the touched.
Geez, some of these umpires feeding him. You dead set. They came to your door when they were hungry. You just say, look, sorry, can't feed you.
Weber's kick towards half forward for Geelong Amateur, dropped by Zaparenkov. The other sniffed the skipper, picks it up and tried to give a handball to Ferguson. Umpire said play on this time, doesn't want to focus on him anymore. Orbis' handball towards Holmes, missed him. Let Sauce got at him. Sam got over the tap over the top and then a ball towards Zaparenkov, juked up and clunked on the skipper. Marked in front of Waite, that's his first for the day. No, it's his second actually, I shouldn't say that. We've had the pinpoint ball in the first quarter. Memory eludes me for a second, his ball over the top to Kangas. Umpire says play on. That was a blatant free kick against Headley. Lim's ball towards Holmes, who marks centre wing for Queenscliff. Play on though. Touched off the boot again. Holmes ball wants Buckland or Chaplin Birch. Chaplin Birch with a knee brace on. Wanted to keep it in. Gave Kangas his opponent a chance. And then the handball from Kangas went to Nankervis. Ball outside 50. Lim didn't bend over to pick it up. Edwards spun in and out of tackles. Well done, Trevor Edwards. Handball over the top. Hot footy. Intensity up. Richie Kangas, you don't catch him. The main floating back in the breeze. Kick towards our forward. White dropped the pill. Measures head over it. Smash Marty White. Umpires have put the whistles away. Orvis with a handball back to Blake Lim and Queenscliff release from half back.
Lim wobbles one to Burnside, who took the mark. He's been known to drop those. He got it to Measures. Measures looks to go inside and does. Runs to 50, goes short. Beautiful pass, Darren.
Boys, look like you got your wish, Orvis in the ruck.
That's a good move.
And that was the best build-up of the day so far for Queenscliff. That was very nice.
I think they were tired, Geelong Amateur. There was so many back and forward balls. Doesn't mean a lot of stop play. They just dropped their
Just huge. That non-goal would have been 19 points. Can cut it to 8 here, Darren.
Durrant on the breeze, straight through the middle. Queenscliff, as you say, 8 points. They're in, they do. Queenscliff 5-3-33, Amateur 6-5-41. 8 gone, second term. Game right in the balance.
Just a side note from the game, Scrob. A few lovely young ladies wandering past.
He wouldn't
Do
be
you think
looking anymore.
you think I'm a chance to maybe snag a missus here today?
Yeah, I reckon you might do some damage, mate. Like you were getting around earlier on, but plenty of fake tan out today. Good to see.
The sun's not really out anymore either, so not a chance for the real stuff.
Just keep that tummy sucked in, Jimmy, when you do it.
Ball back in the centre. We actually had Hungry Jacks on the way down, Phil, so no chance. Lewis picked it up, gave a handball off to Orvis, still in the centre of the park. Wobbles the ball to half forward. Durran could have been the flyer. Again, Buckland took the back position. Don't know why he's playing up forward at the moment. Whitelaw's ball. Caldwell a chance. Goddard back with a flight. Caldwell flew 2-on-1. Durran for the pill. Wants his left. Snap around the body. Jaden Durran isn't going to bounce the right way. Doesn't. Kangas punches it into the post. Behind registered by Queenscliff. They're coming right back into this one. They're now 5-4-34. Geelong Ammon at 6-5-41. 9 minutes gone. Second term.
So it's Webber defensive goal square. And he'll kick wide to Nankervis. He takes him. He's been very good, Nankervis. Probably one of their better players in the round.
He just looks lost.
He doesn't know what he's doing. He's in the forward line this week. Orvis, he's tackled off the footy. Whitelaw has him. Shrugged a couple of tackles. Got it to Caldwell. Caldwell got it back to Travascus, who tackled him as he kicked. He's an angry footballer, Travascus. And it'll go over the line there to play 25 round from Queenscliff's goal.
Wasn't pretty off the boot of Whitelaw either. I think he wanted to hit the instep scrubby at the outside. He's topped it instead of snapping it around the body.
Good pressure from Travascus.
Yeah, the back kicking has continued with the wind on the back, hasn't it?
Smith with a double knockdown, palmed it to himself. That's out in cricket, the double hit. Handball over the top. Jones wanted Chaplin. Birch didn't get him. Apologies, Hilly stole one of your specials from last week. We'll have a ball in right forward pocket for Queenscliff, who trail by 7 points.
I'm like a pizza menu. I've got more specials than regulars. Ball toss back in. Caldwell was going to knock it over the back, but Smith got it to the front. Holmes, the rove, handballed into the pocket, slapped through by Robertson, did the right thing. He's a 1%ers man, Trey Robertson. Just the one behind, 5-5-35. Queenscliff to Geelong Avenue, who lead 6-5-41 by the 6 points. 10 gone, second quarter on BFL footy. Tim Michell in commentary with Dan Hill, Adam Skrobalak, and the one and only Phil, the fashionable short.
Webber's ball found Robertson, who put a high ball towards Ferguson. Nankervis tracked back and almost impeded his own man, but a good mark taken by young Riley Ferguson with his ball to find another young amateurs player wearing the Pegasus colours. Richie Kangas ignored his skipper running past Zaparenkov. Instead kicked towards Marty White, who had the seat of the footy, needed a bounce, didn't get one. Tim Clark tracking the footy, picked it up, tackled by Waite, rolled in the tackle, wasn't in the back. Umpire said keep the whistles away. Ducking into the tackle that time might have been Waite. Umpire says give it to me. Inside Geelong Amateurs attacking 50. They lead it by 6 points. 11 minutes gone. Second term of the BFL Grand Final for 2011.
Great defensive stuff again from those backline boys for the Cooters.
Travascus in the ruck against Orvis. Ball comes off the boot. Might have been touched. Umpire says nope. No, out on the floor. Kangas at right half forward. He goes inside attacking 50. Webber goes back. Couldn't take the mark. Queenscliff a chance to clear. Now with the footy, it's Jake Headley. The ball squirts out to the side of the pack now with Huey Hunter. He gathers the footy, kicks up towards half forward. I think it came out to Burnside. It's Gibbs, in fact. Burnside, Gibbs actually had the ball at half back, kicked up towards Durham. Good mark, good use of the body. Takes a bounce, busts away, runs to 50, kicks the ball towards Charlie. Caldwell on the goal score. Robertson with a sit, punched it away. Chaplin Birch has 3 to beat. Does that in the meantime. Legged. Umpire calls play on. Going inboard was Buckland. He's wrapped up by Nankervis, so even though the ball was over the line, kept on going with the tackle. And we'll have a throw in.
Trent Buckland
Has not had a
get in defence.
Who's he going to play on that?
Ball to be tossed back in. Inside Queenscliff's attacking half of the ground. Caldwell won it down with a double fist at that time towards White, who was besieged upon tackle quickly. And then we'll have a ball up left forward pocket for Queenscliff, who trail by 6 points. And I reckon you were spot on, Scrob, with your comment to just get someone behind the pill. It might be time for Geelong Avenue to do that and just stem the bleeding.
Yeah, exactly. There's less than a goal in it now, and we're only halfway through the second quarter, so the pressure will start to mount as the quarter goes on. As you see another ball fly out in full.
Tim Clark's put that just about on the golf course.
That's landed right next to the ninth green.
Luke Rayner, after dropping a hole in ones, just picked it up and kicked it back.
I reckon if you're here today, Rains, I reckon you're on the golf course.
He's picking up, he's doing recruiting for our Change Up 2015 project. He's the coach. Surely he'll get us a couple in. We signed folks. I reckon we might take a couple off Scrob. We'll bring Lucas Murphy out of retirement. Kick from Burnside, that's home! Oh, and he just loves it. Yeah, he gave it to the Ammos faithful as well, and a couple of saucy boys. I reckon he gave it to the Redheads sitting down there, the Ammos fans as well. And they did not like it one bit. 6-5-41 apiece. 13.5 minutes gone. Queenscliff well and truly hitting back in this second term, Phil. What do you do if you're Geelong Amateur? Do you go with Scrob's idea and get one loose?
Well, what we thought before the game that their superior pace might carry them through here. Well, I thought anyway, and it started to get them on top of you in the second term of the Blues. I don't know whether you drop one back or what you do, but they've got to do something.
That's why we call them special comments men. They're always spot on, Scrubber and Phil, and having a great day so far today.
They're extremely special as the ball comes back in the middle. Tim Clark, he knocked it forward.
They go again.
Goes for Zach Lewis for Queenscliff. It goes inside attacking 50 to Charlie Coleman the lead. Twisted away by Robertson, who leads the league stats, everything in spoils in this game alone. But he was tackled as he tried to clear. Ball goes back into a pack. Sleeman had it, lost it, dodged through it. Has not had a kick button. Not how he got in the team of the year is an absolute surprise. I must have been a chance. As the ball goes out of bounds on the outer side, we'll have a throw in 60 around from Queenscliff's goal. And
I've seen you play footy. You'd get in the woeful, the worst 22.
The woeful, is that like the waffles cousins, is it?
Ball tossed back into play. Evans took the front position and got the knockdown against Smith that time. Taken by Kangas, dropped the fill. Umpires have put the whistle away. Robertson gave it, don't argue. Then gave a handball straight to Keeler, who just dropped the footy. Robertson to Burnside, kicked the last goal. He gave a handball to Sammy Sauce Goddard, who gave it to the coach Tim Clark. He's kicked straight to Blake Lim. Queenscliff with the ball over the top. Gibbs had to fly against Dodd, did it courageously. Slapped the footy wide towards Hunter. Huey Hunter has not, another one that hasn't had a sniff today. Tracked the ball towards the boundary line. Looks frustrated too. Queenscliff have drawn level, 41 apiece, 15 minutes gone.
Well, the butterflies are there for Amos. Dodd could have marked that easily, but he went to punch instead.
The first round was 10-9 to Geelong at the moment. The judges will be scoring it 10-8 and they'll take the lead in the fight if it's a points decision. Ball knocked out by Evans. Inside attacking 50, Gibbs probably gave one high to Smith. Umpire called play on ball, pinballing around off ankles. Jaden Owen picks it up, goes on the right. Don't tell me he kicks it just the one behind. Jeez. Got a very, very good right foot for a bloke who's a left footer. There's not too many of them around. 6-5-41 Geelong Amateur, Queenscliff 6-6-42, 15 gone, second quarter, and it's on like Donkey Kong here at Spring Creek Reserve.
Webber brings the footy back in quickly for Geelong Amateur. He's got Keeler leading from a huddle situation they implemented on that occasion. He'll try and orchestrate something by taking the footy wide. Ferguson to do the roving, flying through those measures. Took a very nice mark. And Queenscliff can reload again. Sleeman loose and Curvis with no one near him. Webber loose as well. Chaplin Birch dangerous. Four Geelong Amateurs players flew against each other, and Chaplin Birch tried to work his way through, picked up the footy and was tackled. Ball locked up. 35 metres around from the Queenscliff goal. They lead it by 1 point. Second term.
Ball tossed up by Razor Ray. Puts it up high. Clark won the clearance. Goes on the left boot. Kick was smothered by Burnside. Ball towards the line. Off the shins of Webber and also Durran. And we'll have a throw-in.
Ball to come back into play for Queenscliff. It's in there attacking half of the ground. That time Buckland flew, got the knockdown to Jones. Jones' handball to the skipper. Lim kicks towards goal. It's a chance. Tommy Lim, you're on fire, son. He cannot be stopped. Queenscliff strengthen their lead. It's out to 7 points. They're 7-6-48. Geelong Amateur 6-5-41. 17 minutes gone. They're taking a real stranglehold of this contest. Amos have got to do something here. They trail by 7 points. 17 minutes gone.
Yeah, they've got to get someone on him, Scott. Simple as that.
Yeah, he's starting to rack up the posies, and as you can see, the ball's starting to really carry through now.
Well, Tom Lim's been on fire since the first minute, hasn't he? He's just, he's been magnificent.
Yeah, he got him started and he's keeping him going. Captain's performance so far from the skipper. Ball back in the centre of the ground, no one on the tap. Evans dived in after it. Might be pink for holding it if he stays underneath there. Umpire says no, I'll bounce it. There'll be a secondary ball up on just next to the outer side of the rings. Umpire will call for it. It's Queenscliff leading by 7 points. Umpire will go for blood rule and Lindsay Smith will come off.
There will be, if Queenscliff lead at half-time, just all sorts of momentum flowing their way, and the crowd will be up. I reckon that's what Amos need to make sure they don't get. They trail by 2 or 3. There might just be that little bit of feeling that in the Cooters camp, and the belief will start to kick in.
Yeah, one or two more would be nice. A bit of a gap would be nice. Ball up and down again. Travascus in the ruck. No one on the tap. The second bounce after it hit the deck went to Robertson and got pushed in the back. Umpire was too busy waving play on to give a free kick. Travascus is in there wrestling. And him and Whitelaw, 2 red nuts, will go at it. And they'll go at it all afternoon, and I can guarantee you it'll simmer over the top at some stage.
Ball tossed back up just outside the centre rings. Travascus with a little knockdown. Wanted Bosley, couldn't find him. He had to lay a tackle in the end. Taken wide, Sleeman measures, all class. Handball to Jones. Snap inside, 50. Takes it really wide. Nankervis read it better than Buckland for about the 15th time today and takes another mark.
Gee, they'd be in all sorts of trouble without Nankervis ammo stand back.
There's no doubt about that, Phil. He's taken about 15 marks. He kicks outside defensive 50. Jones did the roving. Chaplin Birch with a sit. Fisted away from him. Ball carried the pack. Chance for Buckland, who kicked it to Holmes. Did well. Wasn't touched off the boot. And Roscoe's 25 out directly in front. So we bagged Buckland all game. But he's just done the right thing at the right time.
I would have swore that was off. That was touched, but anyway.
There's been the two that were touched haven't been touched, and the two that weren't touched have been given touched. He comes in, Holmes, 20 out directly in front, and the number on his back is number 20, so he likes him from 20. The goal. They go further in front, Queenscliff. They gathered the ascendancy. They moved to 8-6-54. Going under 6-5-41. Roscoe Holmes, your boy Tim, is up and about.
Yeah, playing nicely, Roscoe, and Scrob. The danger signs just start to open up for Yamo. Still probably 10 minutes of this term left, and got to find a way to stop this Queenscliff run.
Yeah, they're getting right on top now, and the young fella Gibbs seems to have moved forward now. Hasn't had a big impact like we thought he would in this quarter, but he's moved to the half-forward line, so watch him run onto the footy.
All in the centre of the park here at Spring Creek Reserve. The scoreboard reads Queenscliff 8-6-54, 13 points ahead of Geelong to 6-5-41. Knocked down Evans, grabbed his own footy out of the middle, smothered by his direct opponent Travaskis. Baden Dodd bent over, couldn't come up with a footy. Stewie Whitelaw trying to extract it, couldn't. Umpire says give it to me, boys. Just outside the centre rings. Queenscliff's attacking end of the ground. 20 minutes gone, second term, and it is Queenscliff by 13 points.
Toss back up, flipped forward by Travaskis, but only gained about 5 or 10 metres, and the ball comes back into a pack situation where Roscoe Holmes probably had a little more time than he expected, and he smacked it around the corner. Bosley couldn't take the mark. Gibbs shrugged the tackle, should have handled it right or tried to, but it was only Bosley in the end who gathers the footy, but Dodd ran into it. Now he's wrapped up by Whitelaw, and the umpire says we'll bounce it. It was a terrific tackle from Whitelaw. He's probably one of the only men on the ground that can tackle Ben Bosley, and it's a bounce. 65 out from Queenscliff's attacking goal, corner of the square. They lead by 13 points, 20 gone, second term.
Geelong Amateur got to get their hands on the footy. They won't here though. Knocked down from Evans to Gibbs, and Charlie Caldwell, instead of leading at that, just sat back in the goal square and said, "Nah, we'll take a ruck it out." That'll Lewis. Ball to be tossed back in, left forward pocket for Queenscliff, who lead it by 13 points. 21 minutes gone. And Phil, they carry all sorts of momentum into half-time if they can continue along in this vein.
Yeah, well, the Blues may have sprung up a little bit, but they've kicked 5-4 to 1 point in this quarter, Queenscliff, to turn the game on its head.
Buckland the takeaway. Whitelaw falconed his own bloke, and Edwards will go back and take it through for a rush behind. And the fans who don't know anything about football and the country football thought it was perhaps a free kick to Queenscliff for a deliberate rush behind, but you haven't been watching all year. That's not in our comp. Phil still thinks it is, but it's just a one behind to Queenscliff.
Kick out, taken by Kangas, and the umpire said, "You've had enough of that, Chris, so I'll pay you the mark," and Buckland has to give it back to him. 45 metres from his defensive goal, Chris Kangas. Ex-Geelong rookie, kicks towards Clark, quieter in this term. Robertson put the jukes up, had it knocked away from him by Nigel Robertson. It was Robertson and Robinson in that contest, and then it was taken by Nigel Robertson. Robertson put his head over the footy, was tackled. Umpire said, "You ducked into that, Trav." Ball's been locked up just on centre wing, just outside of the big BFL logo. It is the People's Bellarine Footy League. We absolutely love it. The best comp in Geelong. Ball to be tossed back up. All of us contested against Travaskis.
Knocked it down to Burnside. Burnside then hacked it forward. Bounce favoured Lim. He's got it on a string today. Gibbs gathers on the outer side. Ducked the tackle from Goddard. Then got smashed by a couple. Then sat on. That's a free kick.
High tackle.
That is a disgrace. You've got to have a look at the game umpire. Charlie Caldwell goes in and belts a couple. Sam Clark drags him away. Umpire just didn't even want to go. Belted Gibbs in the head. And the umpire, you've got to look at that umpire.
So the bloke's missed that. That is shocking. He should not get away with that. This game's going to get fiery soon. Sam Clark's floored Daniel Gibbs behind his
still down.
It's horrendous act. Ball comes towards centre wing. We keep playing. Daniel Gibbs still down. Groggy. Ball comes towards centre forward. That's how much go. They get behind and they normally throw a couple. They have on this occasion. Taken down by Kangas. Chaplin Birch, I'm not happy about that. Shouldn't see it on a footy field. Kangas tapped it towards Lim. Taken by Tom Lim, then knocked across. They've done well, Queenscliff, to focus on the footy. Gibbs, Groggy. They lead by 14 points, 23 minutes gone.
Umpire's about 3.5 metres away from that. Seemed to be looking straight at it.
I think the thing footage, he'll get done on footage, Sam Clark, because that was shocking.
I think it was only just a little shove punch. It wasn't anything not really malice. You've got to defend yourself if you're a footballer, I would have thought. Ball towards the outer side. You've got to put your hands up, little fella. Knocked down, especially if you're going to go towards Sam Clark. I know I'd be putting my hands up. You don't know what's going on. You don't know he hasn't had a kick. Ball goes over the line there to play. Queenscliff will have a throw in 60 metres around from there, attacking goal. They lead by 14 points. Gibbs will be fine. He'll probably go off the ground and come back on, have a rest at half time. But how the umpire didn't see it, that's probably the worst thing. And geez,
Daniel Gibbs
wouldn't feed him.
being escorted from the ground at the moment. Kick off from Bosley off his right boot, went really high and went about 5 metres forward. Measures in the contest. Taken high umpire, sell that one. Free kick Queenscliff, who lead it by 14 points. It's a 20-point lead for Geelong Amateur at quarter time, and the Cooters have turned this one on its head. Measures has been one of the catalysts for that inside 50. Kangas, Hayden Cohen from the back. What's he doing up there? Couldn't bring the footy down. Dodd gave a handball off to Tim Clark, trying to get something moving into Rauded across half back, and then dropped the footy into the path of a teammate. It was Ken streaming past. They go towards half forward. Way flew through, I should say. Those two are hard to say together. Tell you that 5 times quickly. Owens kick, dangerous. Gave Ferguson a show. Blake Lim going to have to be good. Off his shins it went towards Hunter, who was a bit hesitant at first and then picked up the footy. Jason Tom, Marty White dropped the chest mark. Burnside knocked it towards Orvis. Kanga's a chance for Geelong Amateur. Taken wide and taken very close towards the boundary line. We'll have a ball in. Almost 25 minutes gone. You just joined us. Sam Clark smashed Daniel Gibbs. He's off the ground. 8-7-55 Queenscliff. Geelong Amateur 6-5-41.
Queenscliff look intimidated too from that little skirmish as the ball's knocked back into play. Lim.
Well, that's why they do it.
Oh, of course they do. That's footy. Travascus is in there. And we'll have a bounce 60 metres out from Geelong Amateur's attacking goal.
Not reminiscent of the East Geelong Bellpost Seal punch up in the grand final a couple of years ago.
How's that little mouse on your nose going, Scroll? Was it healing up at the moment from last week?
It was actually a kick in the ruck, thanks Phil, but anyway.
Good.
There's your wig going.
Ball tossed up, knocked down Orbis into the path of Jones. It was that time. Lewis is working there as well. Sleeman, it is getting windy here. Picked up by Jones and a handball given over to Orbis. Had to be good against Source Goddard. Lewis, Hunter worked his way through for Geelong Amateur. Hot footy at the moment. Given off by Kent to Bosley. Just kicked a torpedo towards Clark. Had front position but dropped it. Headley a chance for Queenscliff. Head over the footy. Blake Lim tackled quickly as he took it. Then he gave a kick. He kicked it off the deck into the shins of his teammate, but because it was below the knee, it's out the full. And Tim Clark to take the resultant free kick for the Amos, who desperately need a goal.
So it's Clark inside attacking 50. A short ball in the end as it held up in the breeze. Headley and McElwain go. McElwain kicked it straight into the fence. Out of there on the full.
I've not seen Tom McElwain.
Hasn't had a sniff since he kicked that roving goal. Switched the play here. H. Cohen got it to Nick Orvis, who's moved into the ruck. He bombs along around the outer side. It'll bounce from Measures. Ball still running beyond the wing. Right on by Sammy Goddard to knock it towards the line and probably out of play. If he doesn't get a hand on that, trouble stations.
Lindsay Smith back in the ruck, and you can see Queenscliff doing a three-way rotation through their ruck, and when the game's in the balance, they're going to have Lindsay Smith in the ruck, and by that stage of the game, he's going to be tired being rotated three off him all day.
Another good call. It's the voice of Adam Skrobalak joining us in the Beach House hot seat in special comments. Knocked down from Orbis towards Jones. Needs to take the footy and does under pressure from Travascus. Snap around the body, he's going to stay in play. Nankervis and Buckland contest. Buckland off the back of the pack, a chance. Had to pick it up. Works onto his left. Trent Buckland and hits the post. Queenscliff coming, saying
there's a free kick to come out.
Anyone want to do a swap? I want a bit of wobble.
There must be interchange or something. Well, they must have had a blue near the gate.
Are we going to clarify this? Because we've got an interchanger.
The umpires are conferring. The boundary umpire is conferring.
The boundary umpire says, focus on me, lads.
The field umpire. Now, Webber's gone up. We've got no idea what's going on here, but the umpires are conferring.
We don't have interchange infringements, do we? We don't know. We don't even have that painted.
No.
So what is the emergency umpire doing? Phil, get on it.
Something's obviously happened.
Well, just having a look at underbelly Razor. He's just sent a couple of players out of the way while he continues the conference. Weather being one of them, he said, out, go away.
Just let him take the kick out.
So they've lost absolute control, these blokes. They've got no
point down the other end now.
Now Razor's going half back. Did you see anything?
Somewhere along the line too, he's put the white armbands on too, the sweatbands.
Now he's going to the other goal umpire. This is just farcical scenes.
He might be from the hit earlier on.
Yeah, Clark's going to get a yellow card.
Sam Clark on a bit of review footage. It's set from the ground. Yellow card. 15 minutes. Daniel Gibbs. And there's a bit of justice in footy. 28.5 minutes gone. Sam Clark retrospectively set from the ground. You don't see it. Geelong Amateur every single grand final they've been in. They get a bloke sent off. And now it's open for Queenscliff with late this term to do a bit of damage.
Rocks for brains.
But how did that happen?
Have they gone back and looked at footage or how?
No, obviously, I think something's happened over near the interchange gate. just now, maybe, and he's done something again. That's all you can think of.
Kick out, footy keeps playing. Kangas flew against Robertson, and Robertson took it off his hands. So Geelong Amateur is down to 17. Late in this.
The light is on, Tim.
Even with,
the light is on.
With the breeze as well, they'll play with 17. Whether that's going to affect the contest, we'll wait and see. Hayden Cohen over the top. Great grab. Tim Clark can't get a kick at the moment. Hayden Cohen having the better of that battle. Gave it off to Holmes. Burnside took front position against Tom, who's up the ground. Ben Price, handball's got to be better than that. Put Lewis under the pump. Burnside hit over the footy, centre wing. Taken by Tom, slung the ground by Evans. Burnside knocked it out to Price. Price isn't right this time. He falls over, lets Bosley in towards half forward. Headley and Cohen again. Cohen takes the mark. Gets the dish off to Blake Lim, and they're working here Queenscliff towards half forward. Mark taken by Nate Kurbis. He's going for a VFL record, and his short ball finds Kent in the centre of the park.
But Kent will look to get onto his right boot and does. Holds it up in the breeze towards half forward. Stevie arm back to the flight, easy as you like. He marked those all day. Jason Tom, he looks tired and poppy and a little disinterested at the moment. Jason Tom, the man on 110, 115 plus goals for the season. Has not had a kick in his quarter. They haven't had it down there.
Phil, you picked up Daniel Gibbs. Does he look all right in the far side?
Okay.
Thank you, Phil.
Phil in a moment measures to look at Headley to Durran from 50. If he kicks this, it'll bring the house down. Charlie Caldwell on the square, tapped it back into play. Ball runs for Chaplin Birch, needs to shrug a tackle. Does give it a point. Whoa, very, very close. He just couldn't quite get away. Well done from Kangas. He just got enough of him, and it's just the one behind. If you've just joined us, the light is on. Sam Clark has been sent from the ground for, we believe, an indiscretion near the interchange gates, or perhaps
he'll get weeks.
Sheldon Gibbs, maybe one or two, but it doesn't really matter. It's a yellow card that matters at this stage. We've played 30 minutes in the second quarter. It's Queenscliff leading by 16 points. Geelong Amateur down to 17.
No, you get the feeling that just to make sort of make heat of their of all the momentum they've got, Queenscliff, they just love one more.
Yeah, definitely, and especially with the start of the last the third quarter, you think they'd have 5 or 6 minutes with the extra man still, so that'll be really important when they're against the win. But you think if they get 1 or 2 more here, it'll be really important.
High ball from Keeler. Caldwell took front position, kick towards Chaplin Birch, taken nicely, avoided a Satana, tackled by Kangas. That's on the footy. Great work, Chris Kangas.
That's only 3 times, Chaplin Birch.
We said he's the untackleable man, and Chris Kangas, I reckon he might have been doing some work with Big Radiki Samo, and he's worked out how to tackle him, and the kick out comes towards Robertson, who nice body work allowed him to take a grab.
Well, I reckon little Gibbs is champing at the bit to get back on over there. Now I've just spotted him come out from the bunker.
Robertson and half-back. Lovely work from Phil Shaw in special comments today, and riding the boundary and doing it all. He's an everywhere man, Phil Shaw. Waith is in there on the wing for Queenscliff. He's tackled by Dodd. Have a sniff of it, son. Smells like leather. Haven't seen much of it.
36-point turnaround.
Well, that's the win. That's what the wind is worth. I believe it's worth 4 or 5. And if you're going to have 17 men coming with it, it's not in.
Ball toss back up. Smith knocked it straight into the path of a loose man at half-back for Queenscliff. It's 17 against 18. It was Headley. Evans handball ugly. Went towards Kangas, but Burnside got the right bounce. Then was tackled and just said to the umpire, I don't want the footy. He got tackled holding the ball. What are you doing, Cam Burnside? Free kick to Geelong Amateur. Put the hands out and just said, what am I doing?
Maiden Dodd have a sniff. Got a handball. Held over Weber. Weber got it back to him.
Belt you later.
He probably will. Especially when they lose. If they do, goes inside attacking 50. I'll be fleeing the scene very quickly, but you've got to call as you see it. They get very angry when they lose Geelong Amateur. Ball in the back pocket now for Queenscliff as Owen got over the top. Stewie Whitelaw on the right peg, up towards the wing. They kicked it out of bounds on the full. Last chance for Amos to attack. The game stopped for a little bit about 5 or 6 minutes ago for that yellow card, so they might still have a chance to score.
Kick from Sourcegard. Went towards Zaparenko, who was impeded in the contest. No free kick, the umpire said. Taken wide. Holmes kicks towards Measures. Massive second turn from him across half-back. That's where he should have been playing in the semi-final as well. They've learned their lesson, Queenscliff. Kick towards my man, Ben Price. Him and Roscoe might too in the Queenscliff colours. Kick towards Durran. And it knocked away from him. Well done, Sleeman. He kept his feet though, Jaden Durran. Orbis, left peg. Loves them from 50. This ball's not going to make the distance. Caldwell and Robertson. Robertson did nicely in the contest. And it knocked away. Chaplin Birch overran the footy. Kangas slung off it. Durran a chance. Has it gone 15? It has. Really want it touched. Jaden Durran igniting them across half forward. And there's the siren. So here's your momentum for Queenscliff. At Geelong Amateur down to 6. Siren sounds at half time. It'll be 22 if Jaden Durran kicks this after trailing by 20. Durran's ball is horrendous. Lindsay Smith slaps it 30 metres. No score. Maybe a bit of pressure. Queenscliff after trailing by 20 points at quarter time. Third quarter, quite a few back this, Dean Wallace. 6-5-41, Geelong Amateur. Queenscliff 8-9-57. 16 points to lead for the Cooters at half-time. Phil, the goal kickers and the areas where Queenscliff turned it around, obviously the breeze, a massive factor in this game now.
Well, before we do the goal kickers, it's fair to say Queenscliff had a pretty decent quarter. They kicked 5 goals, 7 to a point. If they could have converted 3 or 4 more of those points, they'd just about have the game stitched up at half-time, but they haven't. There's only 16 in it, as you said. The goal kickers, firstly for the Cooters, and we read down the list here, 2 to Roscoe Holmes, 2 to Dylan Chaplin Birch, and singles to Burnside, also Zach Lewis, Tom Lim, and Jaden Doan. And for Geelong Amateur, same as it was at quarter time. Jason Tom shot 3, Riley Ferguson 1, Sam Clark 1, Tom McElwain 1.
And just looking at them coming off to Skrob, a spring in the step of the Cooters, and some questions to be asked of the Geelong Amateurs boys. I'm sure Tim Clark will look him in the eye and say, I need more from you, and you.
Yeah, Ammo's a little bit tight as they're going off, but I think once they sit down, it'll be interesting to see what Clark has to say to them, whether he actually gets right up them or just tries to talk some sense into them and work out how they're going to go about it with this win in the third quarter.
Umpires just making sure the ground's clear. We're almost ready to kick off the third quarter, the second half of the Bellarine Football League Grand Final for 2011. The scoreboard at Spring Creek Reserve reading Geelong Amateur 6-5-41, Queenscliff 8-9-57. Umpire Razor just getting himself ready. He was the man that ran about 300 metres from one end of the ground to the other, and also conversed with an emergency umpire as well to give that retrospective card to Sam Clark, and we'll try and find out the circumstances surrounding that, because it's one of the more bizarre things I've seen on a footy ground. Umpire holds the ball aloft, and here we go to kick off the third quarter of the Bellarine Footy League Grand Final. Orvis to fly against Smith, centre of the park. They need Lindsay Smith to keep going, but Orvis wins the first knockdown. Got it to Whitelaw. Robertson somehow, as he was tackled, gave a handball over towards Orvis. Gives a chance. Hunter pursues him. Got his kick away in time. It's going to float really wide and just about into the crowd as well. Almost over the fence, and free kick to be taken for Geelong Amateur from half back by their vice captain Trevor Edwards. Queenscliff fans not all that keen to give him the footy. Measures sitting loose at the moment as well, so he's the man that I'd probably want loose if I was Queenscliff. He'll fly here and almost brought a chest mark down amongst about 10, tracked it wide towards the boundary line, and it was happily taken over by Riley Ferguson. First minute of the third quarter. Hilly finally rejoins us. 16-point lead for Queenscliff.
I've done my research, Tim. The boundary umpire reported Sam Clark, and that's why they had to wait for a score for Sam Clark to then be reported officially and given a card. That's why it took so long.
Not bad from the kid. Bit of guts in a grand final. Zaparenkov takes a mark, plays on, wants Jason Tom inside. Kicked it straight into Steve Owen's shins, and that's the best Satana we've seen all season. Got 70 into the path of Roscoe Holmes. Left boot inside 50. Chaplin Birch, what he held on to. Umpire said no. Well done. Chris Kangas knocked it away. The ultimate Satana from Steve Owen. Ball inside the Queenscliff 50 to be tossed in. 25 metres around from their goal. Left forward pocket. They lead it by 16 points.
Orvis in the middle looks like he's injured. Looks like he may have done an ankle or something, but limping around and trying to get himself up and running there.
Yeah, good call against Scrob. I'll tell you what, Phil's job in danger.
Gone. Thank heavens. Written off. Ball tossed back in. Smith took it out of the ruck. Got to get rid of it. Does. Handball into no man's land. Huey Hunter had to go after it and did nicely. Tried to handball it to Kangas. It landed with Bosley. Just banged it into the centre. Bounce all important. Over Tim Clark's head. Into the path of Zaparenkov. Couldn't gather. Now off the ground by Clark to the hobbling Orvis. He couldn't go after it, so Marty White's left to chase the footy. Gathered for Geelong Amateur out of side. Back to Richie Kangas. Little handball over the head. Back to Marty White. Under the pump. Number 6. Intercepted by Tom Lim. Knocked to Whitelaw. Whitelaw on the left up towards half forward, and Gibbs takes the mark.
Just feel there's a fair bit of momentum flying for the blue, red and white at the moment. Gibbs ball inside 50. Wanted Buckland as a target. Couldn't bring the footy down. Hunter at ground level did the roving for the Ammos. Knocked it towards Smith. He's going to have to be quick because Holmes has picked up. His handball missed his skipper Tom Lim, and then Holmes dives on the footy. Got to keep it moving. He's in trouble here, Roscoe. Well, I don't say that often, and then the umpire says, "Shut up, Tim. I'll have it." Well, that was tossed up 50 metres from Queenscliff's goal.
Desperate stuff from Queenscliff there, just to hold the ball in. Great work. They've got to hold their nerve in this term, and they can get a real sniff.
Ball tossed up, and it was a knockdown from Smith that time. It went straight to Tom Lim, my best on ground at the moment, and umpire says give it to me again. They're going to about 3 or 4, so we're outside defensive 50 now for the Ammos. About 52 from Queenscliff's goal as Orvis closes to do the ruck work.
If they get the first one here, Queenscliff, it's going to be an absolute dagger. And they've got the ball in their attacking zone, kicking against the wind in the third quarter. They lead by 16 points. No changes to the three-quarter time scores so far. Zach Lewis back at the pack now. Cohen, he handballs to open space. He did well. He just had to get it past a few Ammo's defenders and did well. Orvis smacked it straight in the Measures. Good old-fashioned Falcon. Measures didn't know much of it.
Going the wrong way.
And he's still going the wrong way. Orvis, he's paddled it about 30, 40, well, probably 50 metres in the end backwards. But at the end of the day, he didn't give up possession. Well, Dan Measures just sporting a big footy bump on the front of the
Reading
chin.
the player profiles in the record, Tom Lim says, in the words of Bruce McAvaney, special. And he's playing a special game today. He was in the contest again, but he couldn't take it away from Clark, who gave it to Ferguson. Inside 50, Tom bounced off his chest.
Satana, that's a Satana.
And when the rubber of the green's not going your way, it's not going to the green and blue at the moment for the Ammos. It's ball to be tossed back in, 40 metres around from the Ammos goal. And our man, the 2015 vice-captain of the Janjuk Footy Club, just walked past Michael Folks.
And folks, ball toss back in. Travascus at the front, couldn't go to the footy. Did the right thing there. Orvis got it to Lim. He's the hot man. Get it back to Luke Orvis, who kicked it out of bounds on the full. That was one of his. He does those every now and again, Luke Orvis. He just gets one right off the instep and it goes at right angles. And it'll be a free kick at half back now. Also, I should say on centre wing, right in front of us. And it'll go to Geelong Amateur.
Edwards is the man with the footy, and he pumps it towards 50. Clark, never a chance. He was held out of the contest, and Nick Orvis floated back and took a comfortable mark. He's inside defensive 50.
It's his
got
first
Headley
real touch.
working loose.
It is.
Hasn't had a lot of it. He kicked it to Measures instead, who was loose as well. They're working the footy across the ground. Mark taken by Owens. He can go over the top to Headley, and here's this loose man, just allowing Queenscliff to keep hold of the footy against the breeze. We've played 5 minutes. Ammos haven't kicked a goal in this third quarter. Still trailed by 16 points. The kick, they're a chance here though. Sleeman over the top of Holmes, and he won the footy with a second effort. White gave it to Hunter. Footy too hot for him though. Bounced off Clark's chest. Holmes over the top, and they'll release here. Robinson with room to work. Got to kick quickly though as Ferguson closed towards Durran and Goddard. Floating through his head with Durran 2-on-1. How did he come up with a footy? And then he gave a handball to a man that was being taken to Whitmore. Gave it off Durran inside 50. Should have been more composed. Throw in probably the best result, as Hilly said. And it's hit the behind post, right forward pocket for Queenscliff. If they get the first one here, it'll be a long road back for the Ammos, who trail by 16 points.
It was a free kick to Whitelaw, and they left the play on go, which was silly from Queensland.
Roscoe Holmes sharks it off the pack, snaps and just misses. He just pushes, he kicked. Trevor Edwards straining and stretching to get to him and managed to do just enough. So the one behind. First score of the the third quarter. It took 5.5 minutes. It's locked up. It's nice and tight. It's Amateur 6-5-41. Queenscliff are 8-10-58. Cooters looking to kick away. They hold the advantage on the scoreboard and also with numbers on the ground. They have 18. Amateurs have 17.
Amateur implement a huddle. Couldn't get it working that time. Always with a knockdown. Gibbs from 50. Got Whitelaw lurking loose. Had to hit him and did. Stewie Whitelaw's marked. 45-degree angle. About 25 metres from goal. He's normally a good finisher.
Toughest kick on the ground, Scott.
The opposite pocket's probably the other one at the other end, but no, I think with the crowd in front of him, he's got the Cooters fans there. I reckon he might get this one home.
I'll tell you what, the big screen reads Queenscliff with an E. That's how they spell the borough, and the borough will go absolutely crazy if the Cooters can salute here. They'll be on their way if Stewie Whitelaw kicks this, and he has. That was never going to miss. Queenscliff 9-10-64. The lead's out to 23 points. Geelong Amateur 6-5-41. 6.5 minutes gone. Sam Clark can't be too far from coming back into this game, but it's going to be a long way back for the Ammos when he does. 23 points now, Queenscliff's margin.
Well, they're a bit stiff, Ammos, aren't they, Scrob? The wind seems to have dropped off in this third term, so they've had a quarter into it and no advantage at the moment.
Yeah, and that can happen down here a bit. Actually, it does change from time to time. You can see it seems to be more of a crosswind at the moment too.
Making it difficult for all players out on the ground as the ball's tossed up. Bosley.
Smith and Bosley.
Got the takeaway. It was Smith to Bosley. Easy as you like. Inside attacking 50. Now Tim Clark has the footy. Gathered it. Then was absolutely dumped by H. Cohen, who's a very strong individual. Headley got it to Orvis. And then Headley said to Luke Orvis, he said, mate, you're in a bit of trouble. Handball it backwards. And he got it to Measures, the man you want to have the footy. And he found Roscoe centre wing.
Marty White went within the 5-metre zone, but the umpire said keep playing, boys. Dodd just let Orvis work onto his left and kicks towards Chaplin Birch. Kangas took front position, did it beautifully. Got a fist on the footy, and the roving was done by Ferguson. His kick towards Travascus, not pretty. Gave Price a chance to mop up inside 50. Burnside, Chaplin Birch, jumper, he was all over him. Couldn't have grabbed him anymore. Umpire says keep playing, boys. Robertson's ball outside defensive 50. Holmes sitting at the back if it goes past Zabarenkov. Skipper did well for Geelong Abbott and then pushed his direct opponent Luke Waite in the back. back. Umpires have put the whistles away. Inside the corridor, the kick from Queenscliff, I think it was Zach Lewis, was ugly. Mark taken by Ben Bosley.
Bosley bombs one long, little bit of wind carrying it, but H. Cohen in front. The ever reliable defender.
What if we give H best on?
He's a chance, I tell you what.
Just because I couldn't remember his name earlier in the year. He's made me look stupid.
He's doing a fair old job on Chucky Clark. I think that's the matchup, isn't it?
It is. They're sort of rotating around, but you're right, Phil. He's probably playing 75-80% on Chucky Clark, and he's beaten him.
Ball came back in. Clark, just as we speak around, the body goes bang! There's the catalyst that you needed for the Ammos.
He smashed that.
Silence is Bill Shaw. Geelong Amateur 7-5-47. Queenscliff 9-10-64. Margin back to 17 points. They need a couple more, the Ammos, but that might be the one to spark them. 9 minutes gone, third quarter.
Yeah, well, he needed to spark something, Chucky, didn't he? Because he's been pretty quiet this afternoon, but that was a ripping goal from the
pulled a bit of humble pie out of the oven for you, Phil.
Yeah, well, you can guarantee.
I know you're on a diet.
I'm with you, Phil. I'm with you.
You can guarantee that I will bring him back into the game by just opening the gob.
All right, Phil, who's been terrible?
I'll just have a bit of a peruse of the ground. I'll see if I can bring someone else into the game.
You've got to use up your petrol tickets at the right time, eh? Ball back in the centre of the ground. It'll be... It looks like Evans. Jeez, he's thinned out, Evans.
I'll tell you who's been quiet is Bosley.
He hasn't had a lot of it, Bosley, and he'll come down
there he is.
now, straight out of the field for you. Read that well, really got hold of the ball. Baden Dodd will get it away. Oh,
that's 50. No, he'll leave Baden.
Couldn't hear it.
Baden Dodd's dobbed that as well.
Was he sure?
Off to the left.
No, couldn't hear it. It was like smart umpiring. It was like the game last week between Carlton and Essendon. In the first 10 minutes, the umpires were smart because you couldn't hear the whistle at all because the crowd was that loud. And then Essendon started losing.
Who won that?
They got quieter. Who?
Who won that game?
I can't remember. I didn't watch it. To be
Gibbs kicks towards centre wing where Clark will go back with a flight. Kick was nowhere near Josh Evans in a 2-on-1 situation. Not sure what he was thinking there. Whip it.
Chucky.
He broke from box 8 and then just couldn't hit a target. Floating back to Measures with the flight of the footy. He's taken another mark. He has been Herculean today, Daniel Measures. Kicks across the ground to our man H.
They're switching to that side.
He's fast becoming our favourite man. H's kick, though, is a shocker. And is it out the full?
It is.
It is.
Oh, H. Handball next time, son.
So we pump up a bloke's tyres, and then H. Cohen lets us down. Free kick, Geelong Amateur.
And we bucket them and they get about 10 possessions.
Yeah, Ben Bosley hopeless. Lindsay Smith not good enough. No, moving on. They've played well, those two today. Ball goes inside attacking 50. Jason Tom at the back. Hasn't seen a lot of it in recent times. The supply just hasn't been there.
Steve Owens.
He has, Steve Owens. Well, since the supply stopped, Scrob, it's made Jason Tom not look quite as good, but he keeps competing.
Yeah, he does. He always has a jump at it, and I think you know he's going to compete well, so you just need to get some people at the fall of the footy as well.
Ball tossed back in. Ammo's dangerous. Can they get consecutive goals here? Owens knocks it over the back into the corridor. Holmes done. Fell over. There was a bit of theatrics about it. Headley kicked the footy short to Burnside. Ferguson's read this one. The kick's going to have to be good to Measures, and his time to stand the mark as Ferguson will float back along Orvis. Measures backs himself. Kicks towards that man Orvis. Ferguson back of the pack. Orvis, can he come up with a footy in a 2-on-1? Bosley put his head over it, then dropped it. No prior. Which way's the umpire? See this. It's holding the man. Queenscliff fans ropeable. Free kick, Ben Bosley.
Jeez. Another footy, Bosley.
I brought him back into the game. Who else can I get into it?
Mercurial left footer, and he bombs on that peg inside attacking 50 at the sit. Oh, Lindsay Smith. Jeez, he did well then, Lindsay Smith. He had one bite of it, and then it just fell down in front of him and he took the mark. He came from probably 4 or 5 back, and Josh Evans couldn't get a fist on the footy. He marks 35 out, 45-degree angle, and he has a chance to get Ammos a goal that they desperately need. And he started it right. It's coming back, but not enough, just the one behind.
And you heard the advice, just kick through it from the crowd. Not happy. But I was just about to say, because you said that he would be dangerous going forward, and maybe that's the key. Get him to work hard from the ruck rather than a kick beyond the footy. Use him as an attacking weapon.
Yeah, I think the hard thing with it is too, he pushes forward when he's actually in the ruck. The opposition ruckman has to go with him instead of dropping into the hole in front of Tom, so it leaves one outs with both of them.
Measures 15-metre ball to Owens, who marked, and then gave another 15-metre pass, a little lob wedge to Blake Lim to Whitelaw, who had to be strong and was.
I like him. He's a good player.
I'll tell you what, Stewie Whitelaw, almost impossible to stop, and he pinpoints a ball. Just pierces it onto the chest of Zach Lewis, who's marked smack bang in the centre of Spring Creek Reserve. His kick not as good. Evans a chance. Durran led Sam Goddard to the footy. He'll swing it to his left. Got to know it. Goddard gives a chance. Put the jukes up. And the whip it flew. Somersaulted. Marty White limps off the ground.
He's done his hammy.
Yeah, he's a strife. Good pick up, Hilly.
Just in that innocuous little tussle at half-back where he ran into Whitelaw, he's just extended too much. He's done the hammy, so that might be the end of it. So they might be down to 2 on the bench for the moment.
This will bring the house down for Gibbs if he can get this, because he did get a nice old whack earlier on.
Yeah, Daniel Gibbs looks to extend the margin back beyond 20 points. He kicks towards goal, started at right post. It looks pretty handy, and then did a dog leg at the last minute, ended up out to the left. Queenscliff 9-11-65. They missed a couple of chances, but they still lead it by 17 points. The Ammos are 7-6-48. Scott, we thought it'd probably be 8 or 9 that Sam Clark would be off for. We've almost gone 14 minutes, still no sign.
Yeah, it'd be interesting what sort of card he actually got. Did he get it? He definitely got a yellow.
Yeah, it's 15 minutes of playing time.
Okay,
so it'll have to get to probably the 20-21 minute mark for him to come back.
But the fans are in this. They are up and about Queenscliff.
So in the meantime, we've got a free kick to Queenscliff on the wing, and it'll go to Whitelaw for a holding the ball decision, incorrect disposal. Whitelaw goes inside, attacking 50 for Queenscliff. Chaplin Birch hasn't had a lot of the footy today, kicked his 100th in the opening 20 seconds. And the boss informed me that they had all sorts of contingency plans if there were people to run onto the ground, but no one leapt the fence. They were all worried about the grand final. Ferguson half-back, Geelong Amateur goes along the wing, and fisted away from Robertson. Was very well done by Waith, who got the fist in. At half-back now, it's Jake Headley with the footy, dashed away from the tackle, kicked on the right boot, wobbled one up towards half-forward, but Sammy Goddard, the bounce evades him, could have mopped up now, he's under pressure. Come on. He did sort of take a body. He was evaded by the bounce. I reckon that's very harsh. Come on, though. It'll be a free kick to Queenscliff, and Gibbs has the footy.
Gibbs to take it from 55. When things are working for you, they work in funny ways for Queenscliff. Got the bounce there. Now Gibbs' kick goes far too wide. Chaplin Birch, probably one of the few losers they've had on the ground today. I think Kangas has won that battle. 17-point lead stays for Queenscliff 15 minutes into this premiership quarter, the third term of the BFL Grand Final.
And the boss has told me that I have to admit that Torquay Grand Finals are the best, because the sun's out and the wind isn't blowing too hard. So, boss, fair enough call. Gibbs runs to 45, and he's going to miss left, but it's going to drop short and through for just the one behind. So to move it out to 18 points. Queenscliff, though, not taking advantage of their chances really in this game. They've 15 gone, the light is still on. Sam Clark is still off the ground.
Ammo's answer, Hilly, just quickly, Robertson forward, Zaparenkov's gone back.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but that's the way they've gone.
He had the pill Zaparenkov at halfback, then pumped it towards Nankervis along the line. Measures, love his work, silky smooth, gave it to Burnside, who fell over. That wasn't pretty. Came back in with a second effort, swung into a tackle. That's holding it. If you're judging by all the other ones, a ball just pinballed around far side of the ground. Tough to see. Get your binoculars out, Hilly. 18-point lead for Queenscliff, almost 16 minutes gone third term, and they just haven't used this breeze at all, Scrob. It even feels like it might have died off a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And I think too, with Queenscliff chipping the footy around a bit, it's going to be interesting to see what it's taken out of the legs with the extra man down.
Evans has knocked it out of play, and we'll have a throw-in out of side.
Green light on.
So he's back. So, yeah, about 16 or...
He was off for 20, so yeah, a bit unlucky.
15 real playing time, though, so you've got to take time into account. Whip it with a footy. Dan Gibbs to the top of the square. The hot spot. Charlie Caldwell had the sit, but he didn't jump. Now the ball comes to the front with Chaplin Birch. Has he got a left? He does. He's kicked it. Oh. Get around him.
Get around Chaplin Birch.
He's kicked the goal from nothing, really. He just snapped it on the left. Hasn't done an absolute thing since he kicked the first goal of the first quarter.
Biggest margin of the day, 24 points.
10-12-72 to 7-6-48. 16 gone. Green lights on. We're back to 18 apiece. It might be gone.
It is his third, you know. He kicked 2 in the first 6 minutes.
Well, there you go.
Kicked the first 2 of the game. Yeah. You make a good point, Hill. He's been quiet since then. 24 points now the margin. Amos with a lot of work to do. Queenscliff coming home with a breeze as well. 36 years since Queenscliff won a flag, 34 since they played in the grand final, and they're doing it nicely at the moment. Robertson knocked it in the path of Lewis. Can he take it, Big Zach? He didn't. Gave a handball to Robinson again, who releases Orvis, who will have to work on his right and will want to work back inside on his left. He loves it. He just dropped it and then worked back in. Hunter almost laid the tackle. Nankervis came third man up and ended up spoiling Zaparenkov. Knocked down to his man Buckland. Buckland gave it to Durran. Durran just impeded as he kicked. Kicks towards Chaplin Birch, who's read it best off the back. Bang! Queenscliff by 5 goals in the BFL Grand Final. They're on fire, the Cougars. 11-12-78. Geelong Amateur 7-6-48. 17 and a half gone third term. Talking premiership quarters. They're not far away from booking this one. All the momentum is with the blue, red and white. And I'll tell you what, the kegs are just on ice at the moment down at the Cooter Bowl at the moment.
And Eddie Grout's dancing in front of his computer.
I tell you what, for a bloke who's been quiet, he's kicked 4 goals and he's a major goal kicker on the ground, Chaplin.
That's all you have to do as a forward, Phil.
Yeah, he's had 5 kicks for 4-1.
Ball back to the centre. Orvis knocked down Holmes. We just refocus on the footy for a second, because if they go 36 points up here, it's a long way back for a side that's only kicked 1 goal since quarter time. Big tackle, Burnside, far side of the ground. Queenscliff fans want hold of the footy. Umpire says, give it to me, lads. 18 minutes gone. 30 points, the Cooters lead.
Because I reckon Darren's been important all day today. Been fantastic, running through half forward, shots on goal, setting up attacks, been fantastic.
It's going to be very, very hard for me to decide who's going to win the medal for best on ground. There's certainly many candidates as the ball's pushed towards the boundary line once again.
Who's the one bloke that tipped Amos?
Not me.
T. Mitchell, 3 votes.
It's not over yet though, Tim.
It certainly
Good
is.
point. Still plenty of time.
If there's any time Geelong are going to win a grand final, it's from 5 goals down at 3/4 time. So this might be it for them. Kangas, he knocked it out. Now pursued, dumped. I think it might be a player down, and it was Chris Kangas. He's still on the base of the pack. He gets to his feet again. Geez, there's tired bodies out there now. Halfway through the 3rd quarter, they're all starting to feel the pinch. The ferocity and the pace of this game and the intensity starts to get you about this time, Scrob, where you just start to feel it a little bit.
Yeah, well, hopefully the boys are starting to concentrate on the quarter.
Daniel
ahead.
Gibbs out of the pack, snapper in the body. Apologies, Scrob. Pushed up,
out,
right forward pocket. Free kick though, because it's a downfield. I think they're going to take it over the other side. There's a bit of afters. Umpire goes up to Mark Travaskis, who's an angry man, and says,
taking his number, is it?
Mark, just take it easy, son. Chaplin Birch to kick for his 3rd for the quarter after Hilly said he was quiet. So there we go. We brought another bloke back into the game.
He's no good, this bloke.
Chaplin Birch, he's kicked the last 2. 36 points if he kicks this, if he can believe it. Kicks for goal. And he's just about missed a lot. That one's Troy Schwarz and snuck in for a point that probably wasn't there. 11-13, 79 Queenscliff. The lead's out beyond 5 goals. Geelong Amateur 7-6, 48. 1 goal, Phil, since quarter time the Amos have kicked.
Fairly ordinary stat, isn't it? Very telling.
And I've done that before. Robertson to Bosley. Bosley defensive 50, just bangs it long. With Gay abandoned up towards half forward. Zaparinkov gathers the footy, the captain. Wheels back inboard, goes on the right boot. Kicks towards Travaskis, who had the train coming.
That's sensational.
Smashed away by Headley. Great courage from Travaskis. Robertson with the footy. He goes up towards half forward for Queenscliff. Gibbs flew up, couldn't take the mark. Crunched. Whitelaw came through at the fall of it. Tom Lim's in there. Hasn't seen a lot of it in this quarter because they've been that good, Queenscliff. Buckland just decided, well, I'm not going to get it, so I'll knock someone over. Back to Durran. He tried to get it to Orvis. Orvis back to Durran. Durran just handballs right there. And they're out here. Queenscliff. Blake Lim looking to go.
Ferguson gone.
He's done a hammy, has he?
Or a bit of hammy, yeah. No, lower half.
Everything.
They're in trouble, Amos. No cramping, I reckon. Blokes are falling like 9 pins for the Amos. Signs aren't good. They trail by 31 bench. Kick across the ground. Lewis made a contest. Knocked down Jones inside 50 for Queenscliff. 1-on-1. It's Sleeman and Chaplin Birch. Knocked down, taken by Sauce Goddard. Then he dropped the footy. Umpire says holding the man. Free kick Geelong Amateur. Queenscliff fans thought it was theirs. 31 points. The Cooters lead 21 minutes into the premiership quarter.
Sammy Goddard, right back pocket. He's been very good for them today, Sammy Goddard. I don't think he's been beaten. He's just an honest footballer, Sam Goddard.
I'll tell you what, his brother, I caught him in the under-16 Division 1 grand final a couple of weeks ago. He's going to be some sort of player.
Tim Mitchell with all the news, all the stories as the ball goes around the outer side. That's why we call him the Warrior. Base of the pack. Queenscliff a chance to get it out, but it comes to Richie Kangas. He goes on the right boot. An absolute wobbler inside attacking 50. It's a 5-on-1. And the one is Jason Tom, and he did well to knock it back towards Keeler, who I haven't seen a lot of this afternoon. He tried to kick it off the ground, but it's cleared by Headley. Wobbled. It was a horrendous kick. Tom Lim had it, lost it again. Nick Orvis came in to help out. Now Burnside. She's been good today, Burnside. He's just been good in the crisis, but normally he isn't. Darren up towards half forward. Beautiful great work. Chance to build on the left foot. Buckland inside 50. Birch got one high. Chaplin Birch up by this. Oh, he's going to get one. You wouldn't read about it. He's got a free kick.
He's the best forward we've got in the comp on the lead. Yet he insists on going body on body with blokes.
He nearly had his head pulled off there and replaced by a pumpkin. He had to get the free.
It's the first one he's got, I think, Phil. Yeah, today.
The Geelong Amos have got Lindsay Smith deep in the goal square and pushed Tom out to about 40 metres out.
Do you like it, Scott?
Yeah, I do actually. The ball's not getting down to Tom. He's their best forward. So let's see if he can still kick goals from 40 metres out. So let's get into him.
Chaplin Birch from up against the boundary line. He leans on it. He liked it early.
Close, it was close.
I don't know how it missed to the right. but it just snuck through from behind. It was almost over the post, I think. Amateur 7-6-48, haven't scored forever. Queenscliff 11-14, 80-22. Almost now 23 minutes gone in the third quarter of the BFL Grand Final.
Yeah, massive ask when you've kicked 7 for the game to kick 6 unanswered to get back in front. That's a task that awaits Geelong Amateur as Keeler flew high, didn't bring the footy down. Kangas tracked Lewis towards the boundary line. Again, we'll have a ball in. 32 points is the margin. The Cooters lead. 23 minutes gone, third quarter.
I think I smell something here, Tim. Do you remember round 15?
What, they lead by 6 goals. Heading into the final term, and Jason Tom kicked 6.
Gonna be interesting as Bosley handballs the ball back towards
How long do memories linger?
It's not over yet. It's definitely not over yet. If you're tuned into 99.5 Vision Australia FM, do not go anywhere. As the ball's tossed back into play, it's Queenscliff leading by 32 points. The ball's knocked over the line out of play. Travascus is there. So the ball hasn't moved in the last 30 seconds. We'll have a throw-in on the outer side. Still Queenscliff leading by 32 points, 24 gone. And they've got the ascendancy, Tim. The game is certainly still in the balance.
Last update we had from Skilled as well was 5 minutes ago, and it was a 1-point lead for St Joseph's over South Barwon, 72-71. Queenscliff take the footy wide, little check side. It looked like Lewis inside a pack. Buckland takes it. He's 2-on-1, goes underground. That's too good from Trent Buckland. Keeps tracking the footy, but it's gone wide. He managed to gain 20 metres, though. That's good for the Cooters. It's inside there attacking 50. They're 32 points ahead, 24.5 minutes gone. And I'm just getting this little sense that Heath Jamison might be getting excited because things are going the Cooters' way.
Ball tossed back in. Base of the pack is Evans. He locked it back under Bosley. Umpire will be interesting here. Razor Ray, the man with the sweatbands, he says, no, we'll bounce it.
What did Drysdale trail? I reckon they trailed by about 4 last year at three-quarter time and came home against the Breeze and won it. So maybe.
Funny things.
Grand final strike twice. Evans over the top, knocked down to Holmes, got boot to ball. Durran dangerous. Robertson in there for Geelong Amateur. Nankervis, was he pushed in the back up? I said no. He's trying to smash that out. Razor, don't ping him. And he says no. Just wipe my brow with my 34 sweatbands and call for the footy.
Been good today, Razor.
He has had a very good game.
He might be a chance for the medal.
And deserving of at least his umpire medal that he gets.
Ball tossed back up. Robertson the takeaway just off the side of the boot, only as far as Roscoe Holmes, but he's under a heap of pressure. Ball comes out the back to McElwain, who kicked towards the commentary side looking for Jason Tom, as Scrob spoke about before. He's moved further up the ground and couldn't get his hands on it on that occasion, but he's testing out Stevie Owen. We're overthrowing centre wing. A real favour for either side, right on halfway. 32-point lead to Queens.
I think one of those days, Jason Tom being made to work for every kick. Orvis, uncontested, knocked it down to Lewis. Lewis's handball found Measures, too good out of the congestion. Measures kick straight to Nankervis, mark number 30. He's just had mountains of pill across half-back, Brad Nankervis, and he releases a bit of the pressure for the Ammos now, but they're still trailing. Travascus it was that time against Orvis. Orvis got a little knockdown, and then Lewis gave it to Blake Lynn, who sold a bit of candy to Sam Clark. Sold candy about 4 times then. I'll tell you what, open a milk bar, Blake Lynn, because he'd sell a hell of a lot of it. Look at this. Gave it, and then a handball from Gibbs went to Measures, ducked into that, McElwain, and then he sold candy. It is party time for Queenscliff, inside 50, Chopper Bunch! Robertson from the back takes the mark for Geelong Amateur.
He's ever solid, Robbo.
Boy, did they need that mark.
They did. If that's another goal or big grab 10, 15 out, it's trouble stations. Sammy Goddard, the ever reliable, goes towards half-back. Bosley. In competition over there with Zach Lewis. Zach Lewis wins out. Boundary line, the ultimate winner. And we'll have a throw in 50 metres around from Queenscliff's attacking goal. They lead by 32 points. Time of the essence for Geelong Amateur.
Certainly is. 26.5 gone. Third term. Ball tossed back in. Evans and Kangas contested that time. The knockdown from Kangas. Jones picked it up. Base of the pack. Won a contested. Pill kicked inside 50. Buckland! From the back 40 had enough of it. Umpire said no. Then said play on. Queensland fans weren't holding the footy. Umpire Razor says give it a B, boys.
Yeah, I thought Buckland had enough of it too.
Yeah, but when you're from behind, you got to bring them down.
Yeah.
But you're right, Phil. It was very borderline. It could have gone either way.
Evans with a knockdown. Durran intuitively knocked it towards Lim. Nankervis picked up, slammed on the boot. Won't be deliberate. Didn't mean it to go there. It's gone wide. It might not even go out as Measures takes it towards the line. McElwain, his direct opponent. You won't sell candy to Daniel Measures. Full length diving smother. Knocked it towards Price. Couldn't steal it. 2 Geelong Amateur players fell over each other. Gave it to Measures. Can he finish? Puts it out on the full. Wasn't even close.
That wasn't part of the script that day.
32 points Queenscliff lead. I'll tell you what, that slips catch for the smother was amazing. VFL score update if anyone wants that. 3/4 time. My boys the Buoyants. The Carlton boys lead Port Melbourne 85. So Port Melbourne didn't lose a game all year.
Who cares? Ball out of bounds on the field.
What's the score?
What's the score?
1 point lead for the Northern Buoyants. 3/4 time.
Halfback Jones kicks short to Blake Lim, who marks just beyond the wing.
Got to be happy to hold the pill here. They kick another one. I can't see the Ammos kicking 7 in the last quarter.
Blake Lim inside attacking 50. Ball bounced and hit a couple in the shins or the chest. I think it might have been Zach Lewis over there. Ball go out of bounds and we'll have a throw in inside. Queenscliff's attacking 50. The wind has died down here at Spring Creek.
They seem like they have all the answers, don't they, Scrob?
Yeah, definitely got all the answers. And it's like you said, the wind's dropped right off now, so it's making it hard for Ammos.
They've got to make a move now, Ammos. They've got to do something.
Comes back into play. Evans with a knockdown. It went to Queenscliff's advantage, but it was taken away in the end by McElwain. Tom ended up just fisting against Owens. Not sure what's going on there. Headley and Holmes could have raffled it in the centre of the park. And now they go inside 50. Evans a chance. Buckland back with a fight. Gibbs the roving. Which way is it going to bounce? Robertson tracks it, and it's Sleeman. Just gets a hand to tip it over the bar, Mark Schwarzer style. And that might just be the one touch that's kept Geelong Amateur in this one. The lead's out to 33 points. Game's still alive, but it's a long way back for the Ammos. They trail by 33 points, dying stages of the third quarter.
Sleeman short into the back pocket to Robertson, who goes around the outer side. Good ball in the end to Sam Clark against the boots. Probably deserves it. He's on the outer side. He got the yellow card early in the game for belting down Gibbs. He goes around the outer side. Smacked away by Stevie Owen, who's had a terrific contest. He might be a chance for the medal as well to stop Jason Tom. As the ball goes towards Burnside for Queenscliff, up to half forward.
And Measures working.
Measures runs. It's Jones. He got it to Chapel Burst from the lead.
Too good.
Way too good. He took the mark 35 metres out, 45-degree angle, and he's every chance to ice this one. Jeez, again, Scrob, the turnovers, they're killers.
Yeah, turnovers. And Queenscliff had the numbers in front of the footy. Could have come over to measures and he probably could have won it himself, but chose to go short to the full forward on the lead.
In he comes. Chaplin Birch kicks from 40, likes it. He's got it. Pumps the fist towards the crowd. Little bit of shotgun work.
Getting ugly.
Smith spent most of this quarter forward and he's just gone off again, so he looks like he's bending right over. He might be in a bit of strife.
He's not right, I don't think, from that earlier clash.
Yeah. Like you feel not right.
You're right. He's only going to last so long, and I think they've got to put Jason Tom in the ruck now. I think that's probably the only move they've got.
Absolutely nothing going the way of the Ammos, and I tell you what, they wouldn't mind Adam Wilkinson. Just a bit of versatility right now as well.
Looks like Kangas in the ruck, is it?
Yeah, it's not.
I think it might be. Yeah, Chris Kangas into the ruck. So there's your move for the Ammos, who trail by 39 points. Looks insurmountable, but still time. Orbis missed it, then missed it a second time. You got to hit the pill, Nick. Doesn't matter because it was taken away by Lewis. Gave it to Lim. Blake Lim, just the king of selling candy. And then after selling 3 or 4, this goes 3/4 time siren.
Handball to straight.
Geelong Amateur 7 at 6:48. Queenscliff, they own the premiership quarter, and they're looking like our 2011 premiers. We're only half an hour away from crowning either the Queenscliff or the Geelong Amateur sides, the 2011 premiers. Queenscliff 12-15-87. They lead it by 39 points. An amazing quarter of footy, Scrob. Against the breeze, they just had more of the footy, and Chaplin Birch got dangerous when he really needed to.
Yeah.
Silly said, footy's a funny game. 39-point leads have been brought back before. In a quarter of footy, though, it's going to take the biggest effort from Geelong Amateur, I think, that they've thrown at anyone. Not only in 2011, but in their reign is probably the best side, at least in the regular season, for the last 3 or 4 years.
Still waiting for the supporters to leave the arena. There's a few here today.
Hope he's got a bit of screen on the scone razor, or else he's going to go home with a fairly red forehead.
He's a good-looking man, Razor, for an umpire. Ball back in the centre of the ground. We're ready to get underway in the last term. Tim, keep yourself together, please.
I can't believe the stuff he says sometimes.
It's very humorous. Also, I think so anyway. That's all that matters. Smith, I already said it before you said it. Back in the centre of the ground as the BFL Grand Final will still be played as Smith will get the takeaway. No, he couldn't. He got his kick smothered. Then he gathered the footy again and was tackled simultaneously. The ball landed with Jones. In there is Tim Clark, and I think Jones might have just given one in the solar plexus, just a little soft one.
They get the first couple here, Queenscliff. It will well and truly be all she wrote. Evans flies against Smith. That time Smith negated Evans' tap, but Whitelaw did the roving again. Huge game from him. Burnside led the race against Kangas. Whip it, Daniel Gibbs a chance as well. Burnside head over the pill, picked it up, swung onto his left, then gave a handball over to little Ronald McDonald. Stewie Whitelaw inside 50. Kick towards Chaplin Birch and Kangas. Kangas did nicely in a one-on-one body contest. Knocked it towards his brother Richie. Richie takes it wide. Couldn't take clean possession of the pill. Durran and Gibbs happy to see it. Out 50 metres from the Queenscliff goal, who lead it by 39 points. A minute gone. Final term. BFL Grand Final for season 2011. Queenscliff in the box seat to break a 36-year premiership tryout.
Ball tossed back into play. Robinson, the third man up, knocked it forward for Queenscliff. Inside attacking 50. Coming out to meet it was Buckland. Goes on the left boot and towards the attacking pocket, which is on the commentary side of the ground. Looking for Chaplin Birch with Robertson and Kangas for Geelong Amateur. Will see it over the line now to play. Overthrowing 25 metres around Queenscliff's attacking goal. Left forward pocket. They lead by a stack, Queenscliff. And Geelong Amateur, gee, they need to get a couple of quick ones.
Ball tossed back in. Evans and Smith again to contest. Smith came over the top. He's knocked down. It favoured Roscoe Holmes, and then Clark just pushed him towards the line. It was in the side. Umpire said throw it in. Throw it in. Thanks. We'll get there. Hilly take over.
I think Roscoe
I've lost it. I'm too excited. Sorry, I came here with a little bit of... my head said Amos, my heart said Queenscliff. And pretty excited about how things are going.
Ball tossed over the back. I'll just do the commentary of the rest of the last quarter. I'm happy with that. Bit of wobble. Durran out the back. Couldn't go to the footy. Webber's there for Geelong Amateur. He kicks towards Hunter at half-back. Gathered. Now Stewie Whitelaw's in there. Got one high. Umpire called play on. Ball still at the base of the pack on the attacking 50 for Queenscliff. It's knocked out. Hunter dragged it back in. Umpire's too far away to see it, surely. And we'll have a bounce at half forward. So Queenscliff doing majority of the attacking, and it's slipping away very quickly.
What are they thinking on the Queenscliff bench, Scott? 28 minutes left.
Yeah, they've just got to keep scoring. Every time they kick a goal, it's going to it's another goal they have to kick to make back as well. So
don't batten down the hatches, keep going.
Nah, just keep going at least till you get halfway through the quarter. They still got to keep attacking, and while the ball's in the forward line of Queenscliff, Ammo's still got a lot of work to do.
Ball locked up, about 45 from Queenscliff's goal. Smith over the top of Evans. Evans later tackle with Whitelaw. And then it was all locked up, about 4 or 5, jumped on top of the footy. 2.5 minutes gone, almost 3 minutes gone in fact in this final term. We appear to be about 25 minutes away from premiers for the since 1975, and who would have thought we'd be saying that when Heath Jamieson took over the Wooden Spooners in 2008.
Burnside jerks it off the pack, kicks towards goal. Chaplin Birch a chance. He's always going for the body contest and being hung on to, and the ball is actually pitched over the line. And Kangas will get the free kick.
Did you know about Dylan Chaplin Birch? I was told during the week. Was very close to Geelong VFL this year, and it was almost on Sydney's list a couple of years ago in the AFL. Which I only found out during the week. As a rookie.
And there's talk that he might go and try and trial with Greater Western Sydney.
Him and Izzy might be running out together.
But we'll get back to that after the game. Headley up against the line, got one high. Umpire didn't see it and gave home the ball. So it'll be a free kick to McElwain. It's 50 against Evans.
This bloke has been by far the biggest wobbler of the day, this umpire.
I reckon he's been okay.
That was fair enough, 50.
That was a fair enough 50. Evans tried he got way too cute about it, Phil.
He meant the one-hand flick, and I think he might have just dropped it accidentally.
Horrendous it was. And I use that word a bit.
You're horrendous.
Wow.
Imagine Dylan Chaplin Birch and Lewis Roberts Thompson on the one line at Sydney. The 9 Boggles.
They got the half-back line and the full-back line covered.
My search for love, struggling as well. No girls have come with their numbers to the box either.
That's all right. They'll come later.
Obviously, they've learned of your reputation.
What's that reputation, Phil?
The lack of one, I think.
Jason
Tom's marked. 25
needs to kick this for Amos to get a chance.
Hard kick. He's got to keep it low. Does. Kicks a goal. He's got it. Just inside the right goal.
Right goal.
No real celebration.
Late or early in the fourth quarter last year, Mitchell Scott
Did
that
that.
exact same spot slotted the first goal, and Drysdale went bang bang and won the game.
And no one celebrated that first goal. No one.
Because no one thought they were home.
Or any chance.
I think our call, if I remember correctly, was something along the lines of this game's still alive, but it was well and truly alive.
33 points. Well, we weren't to know that at the time. 33 points the margin cut back to after Jason Tom goals from inside 50. While we're talking about Tim's reputation with women, And it's
It
5
is
gone.
non-existent. Orbis and Smith in the centre of the ground. Orbis with the knockdown. Wanted Jones. Robertson tracked Clark, who's had a quiet day. Whitelaw later Shepherd for Lim. Loved his game. He gave a handball off to Jones, who fed it back to Whitelaw. Stewie Whitelaw tried to kick a torpedo. Kicked a mongrel instead. Weber over the top. Been negated across half back today. Picked up Nankervis. Gave it to Weber. Got a kind bounce. Kicked towards Slim and put the Dukes up. Here we go. Geelong Amos with a run of the footy. Only 5.5 minutes gone this time. Kicks towards Tom over his head. Who's there? Unkind bounce measures. No left foot. Huey Hunter, doesn't matter. Amos 2 in a minute. This game's alive. Geelong Amos 9-6-60. Queenscliff 12-15-87. 6 minutes gone, final term. Scrob, you were spot on when you said they had to kick 2 or 3. And the Amos go bang with a couple and just keep this one alive.
That's it. As soon as the players start to believe they can still win, all of a sudden things will start to change, but they still need a couple more, I think.
Jeez, that makes it interesting. Huey Hunter, right place, right time. He's that sort of player. The ball will come back to the middle of the ground. And all of a sudden, Queenscliff fans grow nervous. Eddie Grout scratching and eating away at his fingernails. The ball's back in the centre. Yeah, who knows where he is? Durham. He got it to Jones. Jones around the corner. Inside attacking 50. Buckland had it lost. They scored each other. It was Gibbs. Base of the pack. Robertson got the handball away to Nan Curves. He's been unbelievable in defence, but he bombed it away only as far as Nigel Robinson, who marks and handballs to Measures.
Robinson's handball to Measures, who worked his way out of a Hugh Hunter tackle. Pumps the footy inside 50 to a 3-on-1. You're not going to outmark Travis Robertson when he goes back with the flight. Mark, free kick, whatever you want it to be. Robertson takes the ball and he's about 35 metres from his defensive goal. Left half back flank. Kicks towards the wing again. Trebaskus a chance. Robertson back with a flight. It was 43 against 44. 44 one out wearing the Cooters colours. Knocked it across the line. They maintain a 27-point lead, Queenscliff, 7 minutes into the third quarter.
They've got to keep that momentum going, Amos, if they've got any chance. It's just lulled the last minute or so.
Ball toss back into play. It's Orvis and also Smith. High tackle. Be a free kick on the outer side to Queenscliff. Man getting to his feet. I think it might be Burnside.
Just reckon here, if the Cooters get one, their heads will drop.
So Measures the handball. He goes around the wing. Queenscliff looking to go inside, attacking 50. Back of the pack. Good call. Taking the mark was Buckland. He just had the right sit, and let's see if he can kick the goal and maybe even seal the game with 8 gone. Well, I shouldn't say that because he'd only stretch it back to 33. Just had the sit of the footy, and he just leapt well, and his defender had no chance.
And Nankervis been very good, Hilly, but just in the last couple of minutes giving him a bit of latitude.
Oh, he said they've had to throw caution to the wind, so he's probably had to do that. And he'll come, Buckland, 30 out directly in front. Kicked it very high and very wide, and really, I think he should go back to the back pocket.
Game on.
9-6-60, Queenscliff 12-16-88. I've bagged more blokes than I've wrapped, but
He might just about be the premiership player who's been bagged the most in any call. And they're probably going to watch this DVD if they do win at Queenscliff and just wonder what the hell we're talking about as well. But anyway, kick out, went to Lindsay Smith fast right. He's had a great year, gave it off to Baden Dodd, quiet day for him, puts boot to ball and kicks towards Measures and Clark. Clark was at the back, did a little bit of grabbing. Can he knock it to a teammate? He can. Taken by Zaparenkov. The skipper spins out of a Headley tackle. They've got 3 in a row. The ammo, Zaparenkov, bang! Ooh. Buckland pays for his miss at the other end. The Amos cut the margin to 22. Ooh. 3 goals in a row. Hilly said it in the third term. If they were going to win it, it wasn't going to be from 7 in front. It was going to be from 7 behind. The Amos.
The shades of about round 14 when these two sides played, who ended up in a draw.
10-6-66. Queenscliff 12-16-88. 28 scoring shots to 16. 22 points in this game. 9.5 minutes gone.
Phil Shaw, he's dropped his pen in absolute. You can't believe it.
I can't believe it. Just when you think it's all over, it's not all over, and that's footy.
Ball tossed up in the centre, as I said, at 3/4 time. Footy's a funny game.
Will they get one, Queenscliff?
They'll get the takeaway here, Queenscliff. On the right boot, little chip over the top. The favourite Roscoe Holmes gathers, kicks on the left, got belted by Sammy Goddard as he got his kick away. Umpire wave play on at half back. Weber kicks towards Zaparenkov at half forward over his head. H. Cohen at the 4, the footy goes to Blake Lim. Blake Lim. He is just the man you want across as he steadies to Orvis.
Orvis is marked, right on centre half back, on the paint, and he kicks in the corridor, puts it straight down the throat of his direct opponent. A dead set shocker off the boot of Nick Orvis.
Oh, that's unforgivable.
Kicks it straight to Lindsay Smith. Lindsay Smith's ball is pinpoint to Zaparenkov, the skipper. finding a way to work his way into this one, and he'll kick inside 50. Wants Major Tom with the fly. Couldn't bring it down. Queenscliff numbers at the fall of the footy. Headley sold Candy. Kick towards Whitelaw. Jeez, he's got good jukes for a little man. Wanted to give a handball off, but thought better of it as Gibbs worked past. And now he just assess his options. Stuart Whitelaw on centre wing, far side of the ground. Kicks inside 50. Goddard back with a flight. Chaplin Burge. Kangas one out again. Goddard with a handball to Robertson. Has to go wide. Kicks it really wide. Wants his vice captain Edwards. Couldn't take the mark. It's still inside Queenscliff's attacking 50. 45 metres around from their goal. Right half forward flank. Amateurs have got 3 in a row in this final term. 11 minutes gone. They've cut the lead to 22.
Ball will be tossed back in, out of side. Inside Queenscliff's attacking 50, flicked over the back by Orvis.
Here we go, big baited.
Away. On the right boot goes streaming through the centre of the ground looking for Zavarico. Great grab, took the mark, gathered to his feet very quickly, up towards Chucky Clark and half forward.
There's your play measures. That's your Matthew Scarlett toe poke.
That is one of those sort of plays in a grand final as he finds Price on the wing in front of us. And on Vision Australia footy, it's Geelong Amateur trailing by 22 points as time ticks away. 11 and a half gone, final quarter. Kick inside 50 and Buckland using the body on Lindsay Smith takes the mark, 35 out, 45 degree angle, but really in the context you probably kick this out in the full.
Must drill it Scrob, you'd think.
Yeah, if you can kick this one, I think they might be home. But yeah, they just really need to stop the run of Ammos, and Queenscliff just aren't carrying the footy as much as they were. They're getting the ball, putting on the boot quite quickly.
12 minutes gone. Judging by the quarters we've had, there's about 18 to play.
He's kicked it.
After all that.
It was a helicopter. It started left. It was an absolute shocker. Get around him. He's kicked the goal from nowhere. And Queenscliff, they moved to 13. At half back, Phil Shaw.
Well,
that's
they
what
need
you
five.
need.
That is all you need. It doesn't matter how ugly they are as long as they go through.
He's going to go really close to a big OG, I reckon, Daniel Measures. Been great across half-back today. That's where he plays his best footy. And you'll figure in my votes at least. 28 points. Now Queenscliff's lead again. That one will hurt for Amos, who are coming. 12 and a half minutes gone. They kick more at home at an airport than a footy ground by Trent Buckland, but it found its way through and they'll get a takeaway again. Queenscliff. Buckland from the back. Couldn't bring it down. Nankervis did well. Edwards dropped it. Umpire. Holding the footy. Here you go, Queenscliff. Free kick Gibbs. 28 points should become 34. And I'm prepared to go on record saying that'll be all she wrote.
Is it Tom Lim or Gibbs? It's Gibbs.
Got a kick in yet though, Tim.
My man, the Whippet. Claimed him early.
Kicked 4 points today.
Gave him the greyhound name.
Kicked 4 points. He's seeing about 15 sets of goalposts, though.
Race 8 at Albion Park. Daniel Gibbs, I'll tell you what. Premiership's going to Queenscliff. Mark it down. Go on record saying it. 14-16-100 the Cooters. 36-year drought's about 15 minutes away from being broken. Geelong Amateur 10-6-66. Reckon that's just about curtain, Scrop.
Yeah, it's looking like you can see the Geelong Ammos players just put their heads down a little bit now. So if they don't do something very, very quickly, I think it might be all over.
Margin. 34 points. Geelong Amateur, if they're any sort of chance here, they need to just get it out of the middle and kick a goal.
3 in a row, Hilly. 3 in a row.
Against the flow too, because Geelong Amateur were coming at 150 miles an hour.
Have a look at this. They're bringing the Routleys to the people here. They've got a basket full of pies and they're flogging them to the crowd.
Phil, you're on a diet, mate.
I can think and
put your eyes back in your head.
The Ocean Grove president's doing it too. They must be short of a quick. Blake Lim in the centre. He's kicked it out of the middle.
Bernie somehow.
Exactly right. Gathers Rebels over the top to Burnside. Streams away. Runs to 50. Kicks to Buckland. Man at the moment. Oh, dropped the mark in the square. He's there with Nankervis. Went back and got it. Got to push in the back. Umpire said no, play on, very unlucky. Back pockets Webber, slipped over at the crucial stage. Handball over the top came from Nankervis, slapped to the line by Goddard. Back to Webber, and Webber snaps one to
Josh Evans.
Josh Evans got there.
Wanted the Pillmore.
Just enough. Webber waited for it, and it goes over the line. And out of play, I should say, McElwain waited for it. So we'll have a throw in 50 around from Queenscliff's attacking goal. The lead by 34 points. Timmy Mitchell's declared it. It's all over for to Queenscliff. I think you might be right too.
Ball to be tossed back in. The Cooters lost in round 18. We question their credentials, but they're doing it nicely here on the day that matters. Knock down Gibbs. Whip it. Left boot. Don't tell me. It's not even close. Buckland. Oh, my man. I've just claimed them all now. Right boot check. Buckland. Bang. Cooters home. There you go. It's confirmed. Get up and about. Get around in Queenscliff. 15-16, 106. Geelong Amateur 10-6-66. It's 40 points. They won't kick 7. I've made myself look like a dead set fool in the glass house. It's what grand final day does. When they put something in the record,
It's not just grand final.
it says, I love this competition, and makes you look like an absolute clown. I love the Queenscliff Footy Club as well, and we love Heath Jamison, so it's going to be a good result.
We better turn your mic off for a couple of minutes so you stop talking. What do you reckon, Phil? Can we vote on that?
Call the game, or I'll call it for you.
It's become a bit of a love fest, hasn't it, really? All on the centre of the ground. Robinson out of the centre. Supposed to be impartial in the box, but Queenscliff are home. All inside 50, and Robbles towards the line. Chance for Edwards, but he just decides to see it over. And I think when you're that far down, you're 40 points adrift, and you're just wobbling the ball over the line and not really trying to keep it in play. It's as good as over.
Ball tossed back in, Evans and Smith. Evans knocked it down towards home. Snap around the body from Roscoe towards the top of the goal square. Robertson,
This bloke's
Rock of Gibraltar. You do not stop him when he reads the pill the way he does, Travis Robertson. McElwain very quiet today. Jones has been good. Where's number 60? It's an unfashionable number, but he did the job there for Queenscliff.
He's an unfashionable player.
55 metres, and they get around him. Benny Price comes over and says, well done, Az. Ball to be tossed back in.
Shops at the same place as I do.
Target.
What?
Ball tossed back in.
Salvos.
Oh no, Evans, we love the salvos. Roscoe Holmes, kick towards the goal square, bouncing all over the place. Chaplin Birch 10 out, dropped it, lost it. Hurdler off the ground. Oh, just away to the left. Very, very unlucky. The one behind Amina looking to restart quickly.
And they do. They've got to move it if they're going to be any chance. I reckon this one's over though. Bosley kicks towards Zaparenkov, inspired last term. He tried to get them back into it. Handball from Wayside, Lim into trouble. Got slung 360. Umpire said keep playing, boys. Kent, quiet day for him. Handball smothered by, I think, Waith, who kept fighting for Queenscliff. Vice captain this year. It'll be Tom Lim that holds the Premiership Cup aloft, it appears, and he's in this contest with Ben Price, 2-on-2. What are the Ammos going to do? They look happy to take it wide, and Baden Dodd just ushers it across the boundary line. 41 points, Queenscliff's lead, 17 minutes gone. We're about 10 away from crowning the Cooters, our 2011 premiers.
Ball tossed back in, it's a wayward throw-in, so Robinson will go up, third man up for Queenscliff and slaps it forward. Goddard waits back, bounce evades him, Chaplin Birch picks it up, bit of space for him, snaps around the corner.
A bit of Stevie J about it.
Yeah, a little bit of Hollywood.
He's here today.
He is too.
Would have been happy with that, Stevie. Away to the right, 108 plays 66, 18 gone. Final quarter, Queenscliff up and about, they look home. The BFL flag will be travelling down to the Borough, and Tom Lim, he might be best on ground, he might be the mayor as well.
Weber kicks it 50. Oh, Robertson knocked it out of his hands, and the umpire says, Michael, I'm pretty impressed with that, so you can have the mark anyway. Sleeman kicks
Bad
towards
kick.
McElwain. It was a bad kick, put him under the pump. Robinson tracked it. Hasn't he been good today, Nigel Robertson? Not only has he won his own pill, but what he's done to negate Ben Bosley, and that is just about the toughest task going around. He looks ginger, hasn't played a lot of footy for a while, but he's just been one of those real consistent performers today. 18.5 minutes gone, 42 points Queenscliff's lead.
I reckon he looks a bit garlic, Tim. Don't know about ginger. Wouldn't want to put that in me food. Kick off the ground, Whitelaw. Get it over towards Evans. Evans got one. Oh, a kick off the ground. He kicked it to Robertson, and Robertson got one high. So you're free to
grab the jumper.
Yeah, he must have just brushed him on the shoulder. He squares it up to Weber, who runs through the centre of the ground, kick inside 50. Tom flew up, couldn't take the mark. Ball's right on 50. It rebounds outside now as H. Cohen, the man of the moment, slaps it away. That's what Queenscliff's all about. Blokes who probably just put in 100%. They might not have the best football going for them, but they put in 110% every week. Ball goes off the ground. Tim Clark's inside attacking 50. He gathers, tackled. Not sure about where the footy's going to go here as it dribbles out the side of the pack, and we'll have a bounce.
Ball to come back into play. It's toss. Oh, we're still waiting actually. Umpires just getting the work done. Preliminary final, GFL netball. St Mary's got over the top of Geelong West. That's what we're all about here. Just sharing scores from around the region. Knocked down by Evans. Tried to knock it in the part of the Headley. Picked up by Durran. And then he sort of ice skated and fell over. I've done that a few times myself. Ferguson tried to extract it from the pack. Gave it to Clark. Quiet today. His handball back. Kent. Speared a ball to Goddard, who went full stretch, couldn't bring it down. And then Source Goddard went back with a second effort, gave it Don't Argue, and then gave a handball towards Bosley. You don't normally tackle him, he got his handball away. Lim went with the foot when he probably should have been over. Gives Amos a chance. Clark sells Candy, puts it on the right boot. Timmy Clark, bang, Amos get one. Looks like it might just be a consolation. 20 minutes gone. The Amateurs, 11-6, 72. They cut the margin to 36 points. Queenscliff 15, 18, 108. And even though they've got one scrub, they got 4 in this final term. really probably since quarter time, it has been all Queenscliff.
Yeah, definitely. And you can see Queenscliff, whenever the ball pushes into their forward line, you pan back the other way. They're just one-on-one all over the ground. So they've really tightened things up, although they just got one through then. They've tightened up well, and I think they know they're home, and they're just getting themselves over the line for the last 10, doing the right things.
Ball up and down in the centre of the ground. Special comments from Adam Skrobalak, premiership winning coach, premiership winning everything. As the ball's in the centre of the ground, he knows about it. He knows how to win them.
Player forward, ruckman.
And he talk Queenscliff into it today, I think, Scrob, didn't you? That was a tip. They've done well.
They've been fantastic, Queenscliff. Well deserved.
Ball up and down again for the secondary bounce. Over the top, Smith. He's competed all day. Travascus is in there. Got a high tackle. Umpire wave, play on. Ball comes out for Queenscliff. Squirts forward towards half forward. Robertson, it's Travis. He couldn't come up with it. Little handball from Price. Over to Tomlin, the captain. Goes for goal. Over the back of the pack of Chaplin Birch. And also
That might cost him the medal.
Just the one behind.
Should have kicked it.
But just the one behind. Handy point, perhaps.
37 points, the lead for Queenscliff. Don't know if it will be handy. Be very surprised if the Ammos got close from here. Weber to take the kick out for the side that will probably finish runners-up 3 years in a row. It's going to be tough to have nothing going in the trophy cabinet at Queen's Park again. Kangas tackled by Jones, picked up by Durran. The man with a mop somehow got a kick out as he was tackled by Sleeman. Robertson, mongrel towards Whitelaw, had to fly against about 3. Knockdown gives Chaplin Birch a chance. Bends over, picks up the footy, gave a handball towards Lim, who tapped it over the top of Gibbs. Bang! That is just the icing on the cake for Queenscliff. They're home. They're premiers in 2011. How pretty do you want it to be? 16, 19, 115. Geelong Amateur 11, 6, 72. 43 points to lead. Party time Cooters. Heath Jamison, a premiership coach. Tom Lim, a premiership captain. 22 minutes gone, final turn.
That little tap over the top. You can never underestimate the little flicks on in football, can you, Scrub?
Oh, exactly. Bringing everyone into the game, and I think he's been fantastic today. Got copped a smack in the head and got come back, and he's been just as good as he was before that.
So the ball will be back in the centre of the ground with Razor Ray, who has by far been best on ground today.
Been absolutely sensational. Like he's let himself down a couple of times during the year, but got the gig on the big stage, and as all good racers do, they stood up.
Lindsay Smith will fly against Evans. Smith won it, slapped it 20 metres forward. He's still competing the big man, but off half back Blake Lim. He goes up towards half forward. All numbers with Geelong Amateur slapped away over there by Weber into the path of Goddard. Goddard handballs wide. A chance to clear for Edwards on the left boot around the outer side. Clark in a one-on-one. He smashes it away. Inboard Evans couldn't come up with it. Baden Dodds there waiting, but numbers now for Burnside. He kicks it defensively back towards Blake Lim, the man who'll dance and prance, zigzag, and he zigged when he should have zigged, and he zagged when he should have zagged, and he got through a contest, and he got it to Burnside, and Burnside goes on the right boot, kicked inside, attacking 50. Oh, great grab at the back, Jones. That was a sensational mark for a bloke who wasn't playing a couple of weeks ago. He's come from virtually nowhere, and he's been very, very good today, very serviceable. He'll kick from 45 out, 45 degree angle.
I reckon if you said at the start of the day, Scrob, that Queenscliff would win by 50 plus points, not too many people would have believed you.
Yeah, I reckon you would have got some good odds with that, with the girls floating around.
Hey boys, I'm in the Queenscliff heartland here. Wait till this goal goes off and have a listen.
Give us something, Phil.
Geez, you'd want to kick it now, Phil.
Oh, Phil, you
Put the pressure on.
the bloke's about 4'6". His legs are about 2 foot long, and you expect him to kick it from 45.
Pressure's on now. We're right behind it too.
So we're waiting for the blood rule. A little lull in play. He comes in as a Jones. He wants to pass it. Well, he runs around and kicks an absolute Barry Crocker into the pocket. He'll dribble over and out. 25 around. That's how bad it was.
No sense
at home.
No sense of theatre at all, that bloke.
Yeah.
What do they think about your shirt, Phil?
They're loving it. They're the right colours. they get a bit of blood running through it. They'll be the right colours.
Ball to come back into play. Evans and Travascus. Evans with a knockdown. Price. Benny Price on the left boot towards goal. It's out to the left. Chaplin Birch, happy to see it over. 44 points. Queenscliff's lead. 16-20. 116. So that tells a tale of how dominant they've been today, especially since quarter time. Amateur 11-6, 72. 24 and a half minutes gone.
The shadows grow longer and the darkness falls across Spring Creek. As it falls
Feel a
across
song coming on.
That sounded like the start of a poem.
No, it sounded like the start of a Paul Kelly song, but I weaved it in nicely. Ball up towards half forward. Phil was onto it. Goddard. He has it for Geelong Amateur. Kicks it out of bounds on the full. Fans will like that, Phil. And right in front of Sam Clark, so they might give him a bit of curry.
Hasn't had a touch since he whacked Gibbs.
Well, he might have had a touch then. Ball goes outside defensive 50. Bosley in front. He's a sensational footballer, Bosley, but he hasn't had much of an impact today. Goddard free kick to him. Just got clattered by Durham. He hasn't had much of an impact in the second half, but gee, I tell you what, Jaden Durham is coming to Queenscliff. He has been a big impact on their year.
Yeah, been huge. Goddard inside 50, wants Clark. He was held off a footy, should be a free kick. Umpire saw it and is. We'll go the way of Tim Clark. I think it was against Holmes or Measures. They were the two in that contest. Might have been Holmes that gave it away, and he'll stand the mark. Measures to drop back to the goal square. Clark looks inboard. He's got Keeler sitting on his own and a little bit of lapse marking. He can probably afford Queenscliff that with a 44-point lead with have to be under 5 minutes to play now. Keeler's mark's about 35 from goal, 30-degree angle, and you'd probably expect him to slot this home. We haven't seen a lot of him today. He's that player that just floats through the centre of the ground, similar to Scotty Faulkner, wearing the number 2 as well. He comes in, kicks a goal, and it's home. It was a sensational kick off the boot. Amos get there 12-6, 78. But it just hasn't been their day. They still trail by 38 points.
Boys,
Queenscliff 16-20, 116.
Boys, I've just been given the mail on the Sam Clark reported by 4 umpires. 4.
But not the one standing in the centre from him.
Still no free kick.
No, because the bloke standing there didn't see it.
See some real disappointment on the Amos boys now. His heads are right down. He's only got a goal then. They're just really shining through now. They're
I'd love to, and I'm sure we'll hear it on, I'll see it on Monday in the paper scrubs today, how much this one hurts. 3 years in a row. It's just got to get tougher each year.
Yeah, it must be hard to re-sign their players every year after that.
Yeah, ball
Evans knocked down to Holmes. I'll steal this one away from you, Hilly, for a little bit. And now you can have it back.
Well, you can't.
38 points, the lead for Queenscliff.
Certainly is. As Razor's calls for a second bounce, and you get in the play a lot, Razor. He's got a lot of wobble about him. He'll try and close the game out with a big flourish. Travascus went for the big slap out of the middle, but it goes to Queenscliff. Tom Lim, little handball out of a pack. He's competed well all day. The captain should start calling him the mayor as the ball comes out the back, and Jones will get a free kick for a high one from Razor. And Jones will just fake a bit of cramp and play for whatever he can. Maybe he actually really does have cramp. That's a possibility. He wobbles one inside, attacking 50 to Chaplin burst, went with a one hand. It was almost a palm down. Kangas punched it away. Ben Price, 45 from home. Snaps, misses. Right idea.
Almost got up for my man Benny then.
He did the right thing. He's done well to come back into the side after being dropped 2 weeks ago.
Let's be honest, should have never been dropped.
No doubt. No doubt he shouldn't have been.
We're going to take the kick out for Geelong Amateurs. He wants Travis Robertson. You won't outmark him, Tom Lim, so he just sits about 5 metres off him and is happy to stand the mark. He's content that he'll be mayor for a day. Come Monday, Bob Berryman will give him the sash and the mayor's clothing or whatever else comes with that. And I hope they don't have a council meeting because I'm sure Tom will have other things to do on Monday. Kick from Jones inside, close to the 50, over the head of Price and taken by Trevor Edwards, the vice captain for Geelong Amateur. His ball was short, one to Baden Dodd, who's got space. And you can just sense that Queenscliff just dropping the intensity a little bit, knowing they're home.
Center of the ground now, it's Keeler. He goes inside, attacking 50 for Geelong Amateur. Gets it away from Zaparenko. Front of the pack is Tim Clark, dodging, weaving, snapping, and probably goaling. He has. No real celebration from the coach.
People that are back the under 39.5. Very happy.
They are. They're very, very happy. The order of the scoreboard, it's 13-6, 84 on the back of the Tim Clark goal. The Queenscliff 16-21, 117. It's been 19 scoring shots to 37.
Pretty much tells the story of the day, doesn't it, Scott?
Yeah, big difference there. I suppose you look at it, Queenscliff could have really blown them away, but just throughout the day they've missed a couple of set shots on goal, but I think they kicked them when they counted during that middle of the game.
And who's going to call the final siren here, Hilly?
They've kicked 7 straight goals too, John.
I might have to call the next 4 minutes just to make sure I'm on the final
I think
siren.
I've called every final siren in the last 2 years.
Ball back to
I
the
think
centre, Travascus and Evans contest that time. They negated each other. Ball just went up and down. Durham with a handball, wanted Jones on the wing. Bosley tracked it, snapped around the body, kicked towards Keeler, put his jukes up, knocked it down to Sleeman around the body. Tom and Owen wrestle. Headley third man up. It was H. Cohen in the end. Good on you, H. Slapped it towards the line. Sam Clark tracks it. Queenscliff fans say, good on you, Sammy. We'll have a ball in right forward pocket for Queenscliff. Leading by 33 points as we head towards the 30-minute mark of the final quarter. Queenscliff, 2011 premiers in the Bellarine Footy League.
Toss back in, Zaparenko slapped it towards Tim Clark, who'll snap around the body from the pocket, impossible angle. Slapped through by Tom and then taken through in the end by Owen. So he'll take the quick restart, or they're conferring here. Was it a behind? There's the siren, Tim.
Was it?
I believe.
Or was that just a really loud horn?
I don't know. I think it was a really loud horn.
There we go. Queensland fans are up and about. I think they've been duped into that.
So now they're coming back because it's a point and the umpire hasn't waved his flag. So Queenscliff
that fake siren is going off again.
Very humorous from whoever it is.
Kick out from Owens, finds Holmes, who goes over the top. The run well and truly out of this one. Queensland with the premiers. Clark pursues Lim, but he won't get there. Durran's going to miss this. Curvers. He's marked about 30 balls today. This time he's happy to take it towards the boundary line. Jaden Durran will be a premiership player. Daniel Gibbs the closest two. For Queenscliff, they'll be premiership players when the final siren's down. 30 and a half gone, final term.
Ball tossed back in. Front of the pack, Travascus, he knocked it out. I think they're singing the song over it in the bleachers. Bobby Kangas at the front, he's kicked it out of play, and we'll have another throw in.
I think Phil's
just about the whole town of Queenscliff has turned up. I reckon Phil's amongst it. Phil might even be singing. Well, we know he's got the dulcet tones working. Phil Shaw, 32 points. Queenscliff's lead. Ball tossed back into play on centre wing on the BFL logo. The People's BFL, the premiers for 2011. 36-year drought. Brogans Queenscliff. Holmes picks up left foot. That'll do. Bounce towards the boundary line. Gain 30, and he's pretty happy with that. Roscoe Holmes. 31 and a half minutes gone. Final term. There's been a flourish of goals, so it was always going to be a pretty long quarter. Not far away though from Queenscliff being crowned our premiers for 2011.
Ball tossed back into play. Flying to the front was Buckland. He's been very good in this last quarter. Robertson was smothered by his own man in Dodd. Dodd at the base of the pack tried to slap it away. Evans got it back towards Buckland. Handballed it towards Tom Lim. Snaps around the body. It's a wobbler. If he had bent it rather than kicking it off the top of his foot, I'm sure he would have kicked the goal, but just a minor score.
So a point again registered by Tommy Lim. They've kicked a few of those today. 16-22, 118 Queenscliff are now.
Geelong Amateur 13-7-85. 32 minutes gone, final term. Kick out towards Curvers. Jones at front position though. Got to pay the mark to Aaron Jones, and he's been pretty happy taking marks to eat up the clock.
Faking cramp again?
No, I think he's just out on his feet. He has been huge today for a little man. He's put in a great showing, and he'll run around. He's got the Buddy Franklin style arc, and then just float it to the top of the goal square. Ammo's players look disinterested. Chaplin Burt's marks. And he might end up the man that has driven Queenscliff's season and propelled them to a 2011 premiership. Might just end up with it. The pill, or he'll certainly kick a goal as we head towards the final siren. He kicks it through. Get that one on camera. Dylan Chaplin Birch. I reckon he's got about 6 now as well for a guy that we've said hasn't had too much of an impact on the contest.
He kicked that into next week.
Amateur 13-7-85. 39 points again the margin. Queenscliff 17-22, 124. 33 minutes gone final term. Scrob just been too good.
Yeah, they've been too good all over the ground. Winners all over the ground, and I suppose there's a few tired boys out there, but they're going to celebrate over the next 3 or 4 days.
Oh, Jenny Burnside wanders past. He looks very, very happy. Merv Godfrey, a very happy man, I'll tell you what. He'll be up to some shenanigans in the next couple of days, Merv, don't worry about that. Travascus and Evans again negate each other. Travascus out of the centre, gave a handball to Kangas. Kangas tackled by Jones. Hunter and Evans, you always know who's going to win that one in midair. Evans slapped it towards Dodd and Goddard. Dodd spun out of the Durran tackle, and he can drive the ball towards centre forward, instead goes shorter, finds Travascus and can pinpoint a ball to Huey Hunter, who sells candy, spins out a Roscoe Holmes tackle, and then gave a handball to elude the bookstore to Michael Sleeman, the vice-captain. Got to start on right post, Mick, if you want to kick goals up that end. His ball bounces inside the field of play, and we'll have a throw in left forward pocket for Geelong Amateur.
Someone's got to go soon.
34-minute mark at the final term. Ball tossed back in again. Evans and Travascus. Zaparenkov over the back. Clark with a chance to get another consolation for the Ammos, but he gets tackled. Owens head over it. There's a siren! The transformation complete for the Queenscliff Footy Club. 2007 cellar dwellers. 4 years later, under Heath Jamieson, they're our 2011 premiers. You wouldn't have heard it when he first took over, but Queenscliff are premiers. They come from everywhere to flood the ground. 17-22-124 to Geelong Amateur 13-7-85. 39 points, the final winning margin. They absolutely love it, the Cooters. The whole town's here. Merv's happy, Jenny's happy, and it is a great result for not only a town, but a footy community as well.
Yeah, well, they were too good in the end, Scrob, and they brought everything to grand final day. There was question marks on nerves, and Jamo highlighted them early. Ammos flew out of the gates, But in the end, Queenscliff too strong, as you said, in every position.
Yeah, when Jamo was here before the game, you could see he's really well planned. Threw up a few different things, players brought into it, and took it out, played well, did what they told. Fantastic win.
3 years in a row, bitter pill to swallow for Geelong Amateur. They finish as runners-up, and it's becoming an all-too common theme. And Tim Clark and his side now have to go back to the drawing board and decide exactly how they're going to go about things. And I'm sure Chucky will be in charge again next year. But well and truly this day, apart from the first quarter, all about the Queenscliff Footy Club.
Now let's see if we can get down to Phil Shaw, who's down at ground level. I think he's fiddling
Good luck
around with
getting an
microphones
interview.
down there.
You help me?
Yeah, we got you, mate.
I've just had a microphone change. I've just brought a microphone off the bench. I'm still getting amongst all this lot.
Yeah, no hope, mate.
No hope?
No hope. Have a go, though. Go, stay low and go rugby
I'm a
scrum.
fair beginner. I might crash the pack.
There's about 3,000 out there. You know hope.
You keep going and I'll get in when I can.
You guys watch Phil getting deep. I'll give the final score from the GFL while we're at it. South Bowen 18-12 defeated St Joey's 12-9. They're through to a grand final against Bell Park. Clinton Wells kicked 8. And Port Melbourne are the VFL premiers. They defeated the Northern Bull Ants. But here at Spring Creek Reserve, it is the Queenscliff Footy Club victorious. We've got to have a think very quickly because I'm sure we'll get asked soon about who our best on ground might be. 3 2s and 1s. I think Tom Lim was best by a country mile. Sensational when it mattered most and got them going. I'd probably give Daniel Measures 2. Thought he was really good as well. And then the 1 vote, you could give it to Stewie Whitelaw. You could raffle it between a few, but Steve Owen's job on Jason Tom, he can have my 1 vote. Which way do you reckon we go? 2 and 1s from the game as well, and hopefully he's still alive out there somewhere.
Look, Tommy Lim for a 4-quarter effort. You were a little quiet in the third, but he was one of the ones that set it up for them. He'd be mine. And
get in the pack, Phil.
What's that?
Get in the pack, mate.
I've been thrown out.
That's not the first time.
Tommy Lim, and listen, Stewie Whitelaw wasn't far behind him either. He played a cracking game.
They're all sensational. So Tommy Lim, our best on ground, the captain of the Cooters, he'll be mayor. He's best on ground. He's won just about every award there is today, but the most important one that he's going to get around his neck is a premiership medal. Today, all about the Cooters. We'll come back on the other side. We'll have the presentations. We'll have everything else, our full thoughts. I'm sure we'll get a chance to chat to Heath Jamison, Tom Lim, a whole host of Queenscliff players. There's plenty of great stories in that. A 36-year flag drought broken for the Queenscliff Football Club. 1975, the Demons since then are all erased. 2011 is the year of the Barracuda. Scrob, I think you've got to shoot off to a presentation night tonight. Thanks a lot for giving up your time today. We really appreciate you coming down. And we'll, myself, Phil and Hilly will come back on the other side of the break to wrap this one up, get stuck into winners and losers. The big winners here today, the Queenscliff Footy Club. 39 points, the final margin. They're the 2011 senior premiers.
Before you go, are you there?
Yeah, Phil.
Hang on, I've got the skipper here, Tommy Lim. I better have a word to him before you go to a commercial break.
Tell him he's best on ground as well, Phil.
Don't tell him.
The radio crew, you, and a premiership after 36 years, mate. You can't explain how it feels at the moment. It's something that we've
That's a good thing with the ammo. It's good junior guys. Last year was the one, they've won that. When you can see some of the other get to your friends in the floor. Lost it with the win. They blew it.
get back here every year is a fantastic effort to get to this day, and for you blokes to continue to do it. Hats off to your footy club, mate. First big we honour ourselves on, and yeah, just a fantastic footy club. I know. Great footy club, mate, and good luck for next year. For all our supporters, I'll thank you in a minute. But firstly, the umpires as well. Fantastic umpiring for today. There wasn't much sledging from behind the fence, so that's when you know they've done a great job. So congratulations to the umpires for today. To football Geelong, to put on a great spectacle. It's a great ground to hold the grand final. Everything was great, even the replay screen. Even though Dylan Chapel couldn't stop watching himself all day.